I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What up, man? The real Coach JB. My main man, Big Smitty.
Are y'all ready for this?
Ground like something to prove it. Came to a conclusion that it's Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side. Worldwide, we in your city. That sounds fine. Keep it 150. We never change what's happening. Hurdle and get
In any metric, Coach, you cannot have Russell Wilson.
Nick gave me my first offer. Like, you got to have that store. You got to be marketable.
Hockey, football, baseball, then basketball.
Oh, I love this fucking show so much, man. Are you mixing light and dark at 11 a.m.?
I'm elated that I can be able to coach, that I can be able to mentor these kids, and give them everything that I've learned over the last 20 years.
Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.
Hello? Can you hear me? Derek. Man, God, I hate this dang phone line, man. I'm sorry, JB. I spent all this dang money on this phone line, and the signal was horrible. I don't get it.
Guess what? All right, appreciate you. We got a new deal with Mint Mobile. I just saved your whole life in phone drama. Mint Mobile is now a new proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
Stop playing.
Your problem's been solved.
We got a partnership with Mint Mobile? You talking about Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile? Stop playing right now. Hold on. Let me Google this real quick.
You can try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get 3 months free when you use the promo code CoachJB.
Hey, man, I did a quick Google search real quick to make sure you wasn't playing around. They got plans as low as $15? They got plans for $30, unlimited everything. Speed, coverage, data, access to 5G, unlimited talk, text, mobile hotspots. You can talk in Mexico, talk in Canada, and they're built on the nation's largest 5G network. Are you kidding me, JB?
Hey, and everyone wants to know how hard it is to switch to your service. Big Wireless wants to think it's hard. They want you to think it's hard, Big Smitty, but switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. Mint Mobile does it all. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. That's why the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty is proud new sponsor using promo code CoachJB. Try mintmobile.com. This is where it's at. We got it, Big Smitty.
So, hey, I'm switching over to Mint Mobile right now, JB. I'm done with this company I'm working with. They crazy. The line, it never works. The signal is out, and it costs too much money. I'm going over to Mint Mobile, JB, and y'all should do the same.
Big Smitty, I'm calling you right now.
JB, Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile, clear as day. I hear you clear. The new promo code Coach JB right here, 3 months free. Mint Mobile, try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get you there free. 3 months off, family deals, all deals, short, fat, skinny, and tall. Mint does it all. Proud new sponsor. Much love. We'll see you later. Peace. What up, what up, what up? We're in the building. It is Doc Talk Tuesday. Dr. Jesse Morse joins us. Give us all the injury updates. Give us all your fantasy needs, who to pick, who not to pick. He'll join us right here in the first hour. We got a loaded lineup. We got Steve Kim, the Korean carousel, Big Matt McChesney, Tank Johnson. Man, Smitty and I may not be able to have a rest or a break because we're the hardest working group in America. And you all can't even pound the like. You can't even drop a super chat. You can't even become a member. What the hell is going on? Brian Case in the house, Isaiah, everybody in the house. Big Smitty will address everybody. That's what he do the best. And let's bring Big Smitty in early, man. I'm in a good mood. You know what I mean? I don't even need to go through the rundown. We'll go through the rundown together because, that's my co-host. I don't really talk to him at all. We really don't talk or like each other really too much. We're really racist and we don't really get along and shit like that. But it is what it is because this is the realest show on planet Earth, ERF. And you can go get those T-shirts right now on CoachJBStore.com. Plus, you can get you some Chiefs Queendom shirts, which were a #1 seller last month. Woo! I love people posting wearing the Chiefs Queendom shirt, too. That shit is fire. CoachJBStore.com. Check it out. Shout out to Nurse Court. Haven't seen you in a while. Lucy, all the females in the chat, everybody else in the chat. Much love to you. It's Doc Talk Tuesday. And without further ado, my main man from Post Road, Far East Side, Indiana, Naptown, 317, fucked up hairline, LeBron wearing hairline, AR5 goggle wearing, Fox Sports going, Ball State legend, Big Smitty. Let's bring him in. Clap it up for Big Smitty. I don't know what he combed his hair. He don't have no hair. So bad. I don't know how you. What do you like? There ain't no blend. Ain't no fade. It just.
The hair clean. I ain't even got a fresh cut right now, and the camera don't really show you how I really. You see me in person, JB. You know how I really get down when I'm in person. My shit be clean, fade. I'm probably get my hair cut maybe tonight or this morning, cause my birthday. Hey, y'all, my birthday this Friday, y'all. Capricorn season. I'm turning 30. I'm so scared of 30 right now. I don't know what that. I've been 20 for so long. I've been in my 20s.
You're not even 30 yet?
I turned 30 this Friday, JB. I'm still in my 20s right now. 30's a scary age, though. I know you 60, you 62. So I know for you it's a little different. But when you in your 20s for so long and you about to hit 30, like all y'all in the chat who's old, look back and think back to when you was in my position. That year 30 is kind of like. Kind of scary. I feel like I need to get my life together on a different level now. Like no more immature decisions. I can't fuck up. I gotta just like you know what I mean? So I don't know.
No wonder I'm holding a baby. It ain't just me and Mahomes. I'm holding motherfucking Smitty like this. Smitty a baby. God damn.
I'm different. I'm different though. I'm mature for my age. The fact that I can come in here with a 62-year-old for 3 hours every single day and hold my own. Come on now, JB.
I'm gonna call me 62. I love people on TikTok said I'm unemployed. How am I unemployed? Let's play big bank, take little bank. You show your checking account, I'll show mine. Whoever has more in there takes the other one. Have you ever heard that game? I bet you won't play it.
I know
that shit kills me, Big Smitty. I be telling people that shit all the time. This motherfucker go quiet like a motherfucker. They disappear. I'm like, take little bank. Motherfuckers is so fun. Hey, I'll be unemployed like a motherfucker. We can play big bank, take little bank all day long. We can check it out. You want to find out? Shit.
JV got bread, Joe. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man.
Hey,
he might have about 10 M's in it.
You know what's funny? They did if you search me on Google and do it pops up net worth.
Yeah.
Look at what that shit say.
See, I'm gonna put Coach Jason Brown net worth.
I wish it just pop up.
What I gotta click on?
I don't know. Usually pop up for me.
So this is one site. Let me make sure this is you though, because Jason Brown is such a common name.
Nah, yeah, you gotta put Coach.
There's a figure skater named Jason Brown.
Yeah. Hey, we right out the gate. Before we even get into it, man, Dr. Jesse Morse got to join us early because he coming in early, so he got shit to do.
All right, okay,
right
Coach.
But it is Doc Talk Tuesday. Clap it up, Dr. Jesse Morse. Looking dapper. Hey, Doc, you Google my name, my net worth. It says I'm worth like $3-4 million. I'm like, shit, really? I would love it. You know that
they undercalling that, aren't they?
I would wish I was. Like,
yeah.
You probably are though, with your house, your cars, your actual liquid cash.
I'm gonna look doctor shit. I bet you that shit say fucking.
That shit be negative, bro.
Hey,
Sally Mae
what
keep
do you
kicking
think
my
about
ass.
the game last night?
What's that?
What do you think about those games last night? Are we just declining at the NFL level or what? Hey, football's been bad. I'm gonna just tell you right now.
Here we go.
I don't know what happened to the Eagles. And
You sound so sad, Doc, the way you said it. Like,
I don't care about them. They could lose, but I'm still a little pissed off about the Philly special. But it's more so a disappointment in how dominant something was and how poor something became. It's like, how do they forget to run the ball? Like, how do they not know how to run the ball? They have such a dominant line. How can A.J. Brown's knee injury prevent him from playing, and then they just completely not know how to use anyone? I mean, Devonta had a couple ridiculous catches, but I don't know if you saw that interaction with Goddard and Hurts on the sideline. That was obvious. Swift went from being very effective early in the season to pretty much useless. It was kind of disappointing. It was kind of sad. Like you could see, like there was a lot of turmoil. Yes, I understand Hurts was banged up with his finger, but he looked pretty good. I mean, there wasn't anything with his hand that be like, yeah, he looked like he was hurting.
right.
They just didn't look like anything. He ran once for 5 yards, I think. Like, that's not Jalen's game at all, ever. It hasn't been. And then, like, what did they do on defense? Why are you putting in dude that couldn't make it in New England on offense to go back to defense? Like, come on, bro. It was just like, it was just unfortunate. It was unfortunate because
I think there's a lot more in that Eagles locker room that we don't know about or see that's going on that I think I've been calling it out for a while. There's a reason that the Titans gave A.J. Brown up basically for nothing. There's a reason for that, in my opinion, and some inside sources, buddies of mine that coached at Tennessee when they lost him. I've been told certain things, and then about 4 months ago, I called it out and said, there's some bad issues in that locker room right now. At 10-1, we could argue they covered up and masked a lot of issues because of the teams they played and the schedule they had. I mean, let's be honest. The teams they played that were good, they lost to or got beat pretty bad. It was a team that had a lot of holes. I said before the season, when they lost Hargrave to the Niners, they lost the corner or the safety to Gardner or whatever his name was.
Gardner,
yeah, to the Detroit. I said, there's some pieces that you just can't replace. It's called experience. It's called leadership. It's called other things. I said it before the season, and it came up exactly how I said, unfortunately, for the Eagles fans and the Eagles fan base. But it's they got some issues there. And I think from what I've heard, I think A.J. Brown missed that game for more reasons than just a knee. I think he could have probably toughed it out.
I was surprised he missed.
But he's not even there. He wasn't even there. And then he deletes all his social media and every attachment to the team. And then he's at an event. He's at a
fight. It was a boxing match or something like that.
Yeah, I think.
To me, that's just shitbird activity, man. And I just don't know that's why I picked the Eagles. I was like, oh man, addition by subtraction, the locker room's gonna be better. I said it yesterday. Yep. And then I tweeted last night, Doc. I said, oh shit. I thought they were playing with me. This team's really shitty.
Yeah, I mean, they did. I mean, I think Sirianni, I think the loss of Steichen was a big deal. I think that played a role. I think there's a lot of parts. They're going to lose. Kelsey just retired. We know that. That's one of the. Wouldn't be surprised if some of the other guys retire. They were playing borrowed time. They were playing with borrowed time a little bit because of all the veterans that say, we got one more year. Maybe we, but now it becomes a question mark.
I think we've seen this story before. I wouldn't be shocked if Kelsey retires to team up with his brother somewhere, whether it's in KC or somewhere else. We've seen this thing before. I'm just telling you. I don't think 36 years old. I know he's got some wear and tear on him.
As an old lineman, as a center, it's a wrap.
I got this take, Doc. I want to give you this take. At 36 years old, and this is just from a medical standpoint and professional from the health standpoint of longevity. Let's just talk about longevity. If you're a center in the NFL and your number one bread and butter is the tush push, and my 36-year-old ass has to do some things about 5 or 6 times a game that I don't want to do because of risk or just getting up and down and up, down and up. Do you think he wants to do that shit every damn game? I don't. I think he wants out of that system, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't be shocked if he retires like Gronk did or Brady and tries to get out of a deal and leave for a year and play with his brother. It's just what it is now. To me, how soft we've become, and I don't believe he's soft at all. I love everything he stands for. But I think that why wouldn't he try at least one more go at it with his brother? I think that's something.
I don't know.
He
I
flirted
don't think
with
Travis
retire.
is done yet. I don't think Travis is done yet.
Yeah, Travis is not done yet. Jason has flirted with retirement the last like 2-3 years though. So like that, if this was 2 years ago, I think I would like, JB, you might be on to something. But like,
but Smitty, here's the reason why I say it. Because from what I've been told and what I've been showing everybody on this show for the last 4 months, there's a reason he wants out of there. And that locker room is a very, very toxic one. Something is going on in that locker room. Jalen Hurts has some beef with somebody every game, if you haven't noticed. Now, is it Jalen Hurts really an issue, or is it A.J. Brown? We don't know. But there's some problems there, and Sirianni clearly can't nip it in the butt, or it would have been nipped in the butt when they were 10-1. So I'm trying to figure out something's going on, and maybe he wants out. He's 36. Travis is 34. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Doc, what about Dallas and Dak Prescott? He could have been the highest paid or was ready to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL as of like 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And then the debacle happens, 2 pick sixes later, and now they want McCarthy's head, and Bill Belichick's out there available. Plus, Baker Mayfield just won his second playoff game, tying Dak Prescott's total in half the time, plus probably you could say half the better roster over his career.
Dak had a great season, but
every year, though, he kind of has a great season, don't he?
For the most part, this was probably his best season in a couple of years before his ankle injury. I feel like we say similar things about Tua. I mean, the Dolphins are a little different because they had crazy injuries, right? I mean, their injuries were just bananas, predominantly to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. I agree.
But Dak is just more. He's older though, so I think we give Dak a little bit more.
But Doc, let me ask you something. I know you deal with fantasy, you deal with betting and certain things with these guys and these injuries and other things. But you pay a guy like Dak $50 million, which they're about to do. You pay a guy like Baker Mayfield $4 million, and to have the same amount of playoff wins is back to my point. Smitty and I argue about, like, you can win with these mid-ass quarterbacks and build your roster around them with salary cap moves. Telling you, we're wasting money on these overhyped, overrated quarterbacks, man. Like, I'm telling you.
We've seen, during the season, you get all excited. They're winning. And then you realize, like, what did they do compared to, say, the Carolina Panthers? They won one more game. They played in one more game. Not one. They played in one more game.
Right.
That's the extent. If you look at it, yes, obviously financial figures were different at the end of the season, but you were a regular season winner. And unfortunately, that doesn't really mean a whole lot. At the end of the day, you hoisted the trophy, you didn't.
28 years has been that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been, it's unfortunate. I thought the Browns losing was kind of a surprising too. I mean, Stroud is a stud. That kid is, and I like Love too. I like what he can do. That was an abnormal model. Not many people sit for that long and end up being good. But that was. It'll be interesting to see.
I'm the opposite. I've been on record saying, watch how good Jordan Love is this year because of sitting behind Aaron Rodgers through osmosis, picking up tangibles, little things that you're going to see. I think we rush these guys into it too quickly on bad rosters, and that's why you see the demise of the quarterback position happening in front of our very eyes.
Well, maybe right. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence.
Look at Patrick Mahomes. He did sit a year behind a guy that was in the MVP running who later, Andy said, let's go. We got to move on with the more talented arm. But they won 2 Super Bowls, so you can't question it. But Alex Smith was a really good quarterback to learn from, regardless of what people think.
But you also have, you have examples on both sides. You have your Joe Burrows who came in and hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? So, you see both Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, CJ Stroud. So you got examples of both sides for sure. I think it depends on the person, that individual.
You do, but you also have to look at the age of the guy. Like Joe Burrow came in at 25 years old.
Yeah,
there's a big difference in 21 and 25 in the NFL coming into a franchise that just restructured its whole roster the year Joe Burrow was drafted. Like Chase coming in, that O-line, that team was bad the year before. So 1 year, and they switched it up with a 25-year-old quarterback who now, Doc, to your profession, to your expertise, Joe Burrow scares me, man, just as far as how many injuries he's had as his age gets older really, really quick in front of us. His time clock is ticking for a Super Bowl. And Josh Allen could one-up him this year if he finally gets to the show.
I mean, we've seen Allen is just a friggin' freight train, that kid.
Yeah.
I know some people complaining about when he went for that run and then he kind of like slid
and kept running.
I get it. Like there's no way to win. You can't win. Like if you try to hit him, he's going to bulldoze you. If you basically let him slide and then he doesn't slide, you kind of get screwed. So it's like you got to pick your poison.
Yeah.
But that dude, I mean, I've never met him, but I can't imagine how big he is and what he can do. It's just a freak. But that's what makes him special. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think that weather played a big role in that game, or the changing of the weather which was smart nonetheless. But I think next week's game will be good. Can they beat? Remember, the only reason this game, or one of the only reasons this game is in Buffalo, is because Kadarius Toney was offsides.
Ooh, forgot about that for that one play. Yeah.
So, literally. I mean, there's obviously different levels to it, and they're playing and winning, and some teams losing and whatnot. But so how will that play out? Who has the advantage this time? Probably the Bills, but I don't know.
First
they
game
were
on the
really
road
banged
for
up this week.
Mahomes.
Say it, JB. Say it.
First game ever on the road, 15 tries. First playoff game on the road for him. I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
Because, everybody's going to go back and retrospectively speak and say, if he would have been on the road for the, but listen, to his point, it's a you problem. I'm the best team. I'm at home every game. Screw you. I feel him. I don't use that excuse, but I do want to say that he is the only quarterback to never go on the road. And so he's benefited from either a bad AFC West, a bad AFC period over the last 4 to 5 years. We can really look at it and say, besides their 2 Super Bowls, the AFC has been pretty bad compared to the NFC. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does on the road for his first one with a very, very under-talented roster, to say the least.
Yeah. So I want to switch it up real quick. What are your thoughts on Cooper Kupp?
Well, first of all, he screwed probably you and me in draft the other day on my picks because he did nothing. He didn't even show up.
I expected him to do nothing. I didn't touch him. Puka was the only choice in that game.
Yeah, I took him. He got
Kyron, but he got injured, so I'll give him.
I don't know, man. He didn't look. I was watching him in specifically watching him, and I'm like, he's not rolling out of his routes. He's usually he runs his 10-yard out cuts better than any wideout in the league.
He's regressive. He's hungry. He's cutting hard.
Rolls to it, and the ball's on time. He's stopping now because he can't roll to it for whatever reason. I don't know. That's to your expertise. Like from him rolling into a route versus breaking down and squaring it out. What would that be from? His ankle flexibility?
I mean, he's had a bunch of different injuries. Remember, he had the high ankle last year at the end of the season, or technically ended it. He probably could have came back, but he had a re-injury to that ankle. But he had injuries to both ankles. He had that hamstring multiple times this year. I have some concerns about his ability to heal overall, genetically speaking. And if he wasn't owed $20 million this year and $20 million next year, if he wasn't on the dead cap for $47 million next year, I don't think as the number 2 wide receiver on that offense, Puka is making a total of $4 million in 4 years. I don't think he would be on the team. I don't know. I had some thoughts earlier this year that he could potentially retire. And if it was up to the team, I think it would be an easy decision. But it's not really up to the team because of how in the predicament they put him in, or he put them in because of his play. Yes, he's going to look healthy when he's ready in week 1 because he's had 10 months to heal or 9 months to heal. But how does he look in week 5 or week 6 or week 8 like he did this year? He had 2 good games. He started getting banged up, and then he didn't do a whole lot. He had 2 more good games, and then after that, he's been mid. And Puka is a younger, hungrier version of him. If not, I would say better, but
I agree.
Maybe. So it's like that's a very, very expensive wide receiver too.
Yeah, man.
And that off, you want to talk about a quarterback that's had more injuries than I can even fathom. Matthew Stafford, he has had 3 careers, probably somewhere around there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to play because we thought, hey, is he going to hang him up last year? And he probably could have, and he's probably made enough money to do that. I heard he's a savvy business guy too. But he made like 30 million, whatever he made this year. But he played good. I mean, there's no question. He had mad injuries. He always has crazy injuries.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, but I mean, to give you an idea, and my buddy posted this yesterday on a side note, look at all the quarterbacks playing in next week's games. There's 8 quarterbacks, 8 teams. Every single one of them was drafted in the first round except for Purdy.
Wow.
Look it up. It's there.
Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, literally all. Josh Allen.
You know that 4 of those guys are California QBs, and they went 4-0 last weekend, and California still has the best quarterbacks. But anyway, I'm just throwing that out there, Big Smitty. No shot at Indiana and wherever you're from. So
the best quarterback in the left is from Florida, so neither one of us can really say anything about that. But that's another conversation. But continue.
Doc, so what injury is there? Anyone missing this weekend? Any missing game? Anyone that's significant going to miss anything this week?
There's some defensive players on Buffalo that could potentially have issues. Jair Alexander, I'm waiting for his. It looked like a left knee. I don't know what it was, but it did not look good. Hopefully, he got lucky.
He can't miss.
Most of the offensive players are okay. Flowers, OBJ should be okay. I don't think Andrews will be back yet. He could play, but I don't think they'll bring him back. McCaffrey should be good. Debo had a little bit of a neck thing. He'll be fine. But most of the people that were injured are out.
Green Bay have anyone? Aaron Jones okay? What about
Aaron Jones is healthy. They are just whoever makes their offensive wide receiver picks. You need to steal him because that dude is a beast. I mean, look, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, even though he has his hamstring issues. Dontavius Hicks, you got Tucker Kraft, you got Musgrave. Like
they're also young
too. You don't even know who's going to catch the ball. I forgot Dobbs, however you pronounce him. Like they are a nightmare for fantasy.
Is AJ Dillon playing? Because if he doesn't, they get mollywopped. If AJ Dillon,
so this is a good question. So
totally changed the game.
This is a 2-part issue. Initially, he had a fractured thumb on his carry hand. I think is what we don't know if it's carry hand or not. I think it was his non-carry hand, but that wasn't what's held him out because he played the week after that. So that wasn't it. Then they said he had a stinger. Stingers don't cause issues the following week. And he's missed 2. I want to say it's been 2 games now. I think they're calling it a neck. I don't know if they're calling it a thumb or neck or both, but we're missing something here. This is a cervical injury, and they haven't commented on it. But I don't know how big it is or what it is. But we haven't really heard about him because Aaron Jones is really good and effective. But
he's a play away from being hurt too, as we've seen.
Always. I mean, he's super talented. He's getting older. But that kid he's nice. I mean, he's got chronic.
He looked amazing this weekend. Can we shout him out real quick? He looked fresh.
When he was healthy this year, he looked incredible.
Yeah.
But he had issues with multiple different body parts like he usually does. But most years he can play through them. This year, unfortunately, he couldn't.
But the Niners are the same way, though. I mean, C-Mac gets hurt often. They always got cats getting hurt. So, I mean, these are two teams that both deal with injuries if you look at their history.
So, I'll leave you guys with this. Do you think that Houston can pull up the upset?
No. Not a chance. It's about to be so loud in Baltimore. I love CJ Stroud. Great story. I love D'Amico. It's going to be a tight game, though. Just, very competitive team. That defense is playing lights out, in my opinion. But that Ravens defense is going to be a different challenge for CJ Stroud. I don't think CJ goes out there and just has the same type of game he just had last. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad game. I just don't see him having that level of game that we just saw.
He continues to surprise me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know they had a change in the front office. They had several high-level picks. They hit the home run with Tank Dell. They did a great job with Nico.
Nico Collins,
Singletary Motor was a great choice.
Will Anderson, obviously, yeah.
So they made a lot of great decisions, but you can see how significant of a change a quarterback can make, right? I mean, all the things had to play a role, but without Stroud, I don't think they win probably half the games they win this year, give or take. Yep. I think it was that big of a deal. And that made me think of something. What is good with the Carolina Panthers organization? They had Baker Mayfield playing on defense in practice last year before they cut him, allowing him to go to the Rams.
Remember that?
McVay gave him a shot, reinvigorated him life, and now we see him on the Bucs. But for real,
remember that? I remember that shit. Yeah, that was real. He was on defense.
He went. So I tweeted this last night because you just saw my mentor is the team doc for the Bucs. So I texted him before the game. I said, "Good luck," and I haven't messaged him again, but I'll tell him congrats. And I was thinking I was talking like, "Hey, how's Baker in the past?" He's he's gritty. Like he's just a hungry, nice guy. He's just a regular guy, kind of like Brady, but not quite.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking he went from a beat up roster in Cleveland to being cut after they traded the sun, moon, and stars for Deshaun to ending up in Carolina where he got benched basically and was on practice squad to basically getting released in December, playing with a bunch of nobodies on the Rams, and I think he won a couple if I remember correctly. Then went on a $4 million deal with a negative $80 million roster for the Bucs, in terms of cap and everything. And he brings the team after halfway through the season, they were 4-6 or something like.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think Bowles earned his paycheck this year, and so I mean that
he did. I agree.
I just thought because when I saw Stroud, I said, well, Bryce Young,
no,
and then you're like, well, they had Baker, Baker's washed. Apparently not. I mean,
this shows you, Doc, that where you're at matters so much. Fit matters so much, and we've all let's be real. All of us in the media at some point has given Baker Mayfield hell. He's washed up. He was overrated. Shouldn't have got picked number one. This, that, and the third. For him to go out here and have a game like that, to win a playoff game, and again, remember this. He's doing this right after Brady. Brady just left, so that's big shoes to fill. And he's in a division round against the Lions, and I got the Lions winning, but that's a winnable game for the Bucs now.
That's a very winnable game.
They can win that. And imagine, but think about this. I was thinking about this last night. Either way, we're either going to see the Detroit Lions or Baker's Bucs in the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
none of us would have guessed that before the season started. That's insane.
Against Jordan Love versus the Purdy's.
The quarterbacks on the NFC, you got Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and Jordan Love. Those are our last four in the NFC.
You couldn't have predicted that. No way.
Come on, bro.
No way you could have predicted that at the beginning.
I don't think anybody could predict the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't
even know where to begin.
Yeah.
I don't think you predict the opponents in the Super Bowl. I don't think anybody hit that right now.
The
AFC's loaded, though. The AFC got Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, and CJ Stroud. Those are four.
Yeah, you got three.
Yeah, but can you pick the team?
We can't hear you, Doc.
Muted probably when the phone went out.
I hate when that happens on this app because if one mistake happens with my mic, I have to refresh my whole thing because there's not a way to get your sound back. I don't know how it works. I don't even. We can't hear you, Doc. It's all if you got it. It's all good. Damn, he had a bar too. He's about to say he was like, he had the numbers. He's like, hey, Lamar Jackson, best quarterback in fucking playoffs. He's about to give you some real game. I can say, yeah.
All right, we start. We got thanks to Doc jumping on. Doc jumped on right out the gate with us. We didn't get to the rundown. Let's get to the quote of the day. Let's get to everything. This show is brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. NBA is raving up. Got the seeding is the Lakers aren't going to make the playoffs, Smitty. Can't wait to break that down. Wow. We're going to get into it. Bet Online, where the game starts. Go bet on basketball right now. You got spring training in Major League Baseball coming around the corner, and we got the Spring League, the UFL, XFL, USFL combination. You can bet on all those things using betonline.ag. Plus, NFL playoffs, of course, are front and center with NHL as well. All right, so quote of the day. Let's get to it. Be regular and ordinary in your life, Big Smitty, so that you may be violent and original in your work.
Say that one more time, please.
People don't get, like, the person that can treat people on the street, like, with some humility, nice, cordial. I want you to think I'm soft. I want you to think I'm this or I'm that. And then they trip out when they're like, damn, this motherfucker crazy coaching. Because I'm original and violent when I work. That's how I earn my keep, my money. I get players scholarships. I get guys to the NFL. I get coaches jobs. I help others do that shit. The best O-linemen ever that I've ever coached, and O-linemen usually are this way, you would be like, damn, big old teddy bear off the court, nice, helping kids, do community work, and then on the field, like, you better blow the whistle. That mother rip your face off. And that's how I grew up, Bixman. I grew up with gangsters who used to sit in the front row in class wearing reading glasses and had 4.0s. And cats are like, damn, it's all. At night, he's drawing his initials on your forehead with your own blood. That's true story, by the way. So
I know it was so specific that I feel like you knew what you were saying. Like,
I'm just trying to say, don't judge a book by its cover, and don't let the smooth taste fool you.
So real quick. So you saying, like, the people in the chat who see me smiling and joking, they don't know who I really am. Who knows? I might not.
It's different with you, though. They know you're soft. Okay. All right, contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to prizepicks.com. Big Smitty, all limitations are self-imposed, contrary to belief. All limitations are self-imposed. Unless you're born like a quadriplegic or some unfortunate health issue. And I've even seen people beat that nowadays. You know, you got these people playing hoops and in a wheelchair and dudes with no arms cooking. Like, it's crazy, right? People like mine is like, fuck, I'm stronger than my disability. Well, I truly believe all limitations are self-imposed. Contrary to belief, choices should reflect hope, not fear. Contrary to belief. If you're not optimistic when you wake up and make your bed, as Smitty does now every day, because I told him he should, and he does now. He's become a better man since doing so also. Choices should reflect hope as you get up, dog, and be optimistic.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Life is not a problem, Smitty, to be solved, but a reality to be experienced.
You dropped her on so you gotta slow down. You dropping too many of them today. Like, I don't know. You ain't never came on the show and had 3, 4 just bang.
Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced.
So just live life is what you're saying. Just live.
Yeah, live life. Dog, life is about hands-on experience. I tell you people all the time, a diploma and a degree is the biggest waste of paper ever printed. You can't go tell me how to do a job. I got a bachelor's degree in science. Oh, really? Go weld this fucking piece of metal right here to save this boat from sinking, motherfucker. Well, the buoyancy of the O2 oxygen, we just died. Thanks.
But don't do that, motherfucker. Just because you grew up from the hands-on, change your oil, generate. That's great. We need those people too. But you also need this. And my generation has a lot of these engineers who know how to hack into some shit, how to code some shit, how to make your life more efficient, more easier. There's certain things with the internet and Google Drive and Google Docs and little simple stuff that's simple to me that someone at your older age at 62, it's a little more complicated for you. So like we need each other. Can we agree to that, JB? We need the old heads who are hands-on, aggressive, oil in your hand, your lungs all fucked up from working in bad environments. You need the young guys who are brainiacs on that internet.
I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to think about it.
Think about it. Take time.
Take a moment of silence to think about what Smitty just said. I'm trying to think about what I need Smitty's generation for, where I can't survive today. So let me think. Can I get my own groceries? Yep. So I don't need Uber Eats.
You can.
Can I change my oil, my brakes, my tires, my oil filter, my tone? I can even drop a transmission if I had to. Yes, I don't need Smitty's generation for that.
Internet. How about the internet?
I can drink out of a water hose and not fear being like sick or soft or yucky. So I could do that. I don't need his generation for that. I can experience Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Kobe and LeBron.
No, you can't.
Nope. Good assessment on those people. So I don't need his help for that. Trying to figure out what I need Smitty's generation for. Oh, I got it. How to be baby shit soft. I guess I could get that from you so I could maybe cater to the made up humans.
We showed y'all, you know what? My generation, we got nothing but hustlers, though. And we got real businessmen, businesswomen, entrepreneurs. Your generation did exactly what your parents and grandparents said. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Jason, go run 5 miles and come back afterwards. Jason, go jump off the roof. Jason, yes, ma'am. Your generation, y'all did whatever your parents said. My generation, we gonna question certain things because we want to learn, we want to improve, we want to make better. We got real hustlers and doers. And golly. If this ain't the most racist show in America, man, Bailey's officially team white. It's officially done because I know Bailey made it.
I was like, is that really my body? But it's not. But I got that polo shirt. I was tripping, Bailey. I was tripping on that.
Now that dude's skinnier than you.
So he's a young baby. Coddle him, right? Rock the baby. He's 29. Shout out to 6 minutes. Gonna turn the big 3-0 this week. Make sure Friday better be crazy super chats so I can give him his 1%.
I need 10 racks on Friday, Jay. We need like 10,000 on Friday.
Hey, I don't know, man. Now I couldn't do that with Keith. I couldn't coddle Keith. Keith's fat ass titties would be on my kneecaps. So look, Big Smitty, I gotta ask you something. So let's get the show started real quick.
Get it started. It's 45 minutes in, motherfucker.
I mean,
here come fucking Steve Kim. Here comes fucking Tank. Here comes fucking.
Damn. Hey, shit go by fast. We got lots to break down, Big Smitty.
Let's break it down. 2 minutes a pop. Boom.
All right, Dak Prescott and McCarthy have to go. They're on the thumbnail today. They're on the thumbnail. It's Dak Prescott, McCarthy. The Cowboys are nachos. Baker Mayfield has the same amount of playoff wins that Dak Prescott has, Big Smitty. So I'm just trying to figure out, why wouldn't they have to go? You just saw a dude win his second playoff game last night with his fourth team. And this dude's been paid 2 times. 2 major contracts, about to get a major highest paid quarterback in the NFL for some reason. I don't understand why. I still don't get why we're trying to pay Dak Prescott. I really, truly don't. But anyway, does he have to go? Does McCarthy have to go? Which one is it? But before you answer, we didn't do this. Poll question. Got to ask you, and everybody in the chat, this Eagles team is the biggest disappointment in recent history. True or false? Poll question. This Eagles team is the biggest disappointment. They started 10-1 after going to a Super Bowl, one play away from winning it, to doing what you just saw last night, looking atrocious. And I can't wait to break this game down because I have a lot to say. But is this Eagles team the biggest disappointment in recent history?
They might be, but shit, the Cowboys right there. And I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, so we're going to put them on a higher pedestal, but the Cowboys were one of the best teams in the league this year as well. And I don't know. I feel like you go either way with that, man. I guess you give the Eagles the edge because of last year's success. But golly, man, it's just been a weird season overall. But the Eagles very, very disappointing. But going back to your original topic before I lose track of that, Mike McCarthy, should him and Dak be let go? Yes, they should. I don't think Mike McCarthy's a bad coach. He's won 12 games in the last 3 regular seasons, which is very hard to do, and it takes good coaching to do that. But we all know that at the end of the day, it comes down to the playoffs, and what do you do in the playoffs? And you can't have a great regular season and then get knocked out in the wild card. Like it just doesn't make sense. It's like a waste of a regular season. You get home field advantage. You're 16-0, and you haven't lost at the crib all year long. You go out here and you lay an egg. The guys came out there, they look unmotivated. No one played hard. Defense played soft. I got to put that on the head coach from a standpoint of preparing your guys, make sure they're ready. On the flip side, we're talking about Dak Prescott. Dak's out here he went back to last year's version of Dak. Dak had arguably his best season this year. And then the playoff game comes, he goes back to Dak of old, or the Dak that we see in big games. He throws picks, threw a pick 6. He's staring down CD Lamb, trying to force throws. He looked shook. And if I'm Jerry Jones, how can I motivate or talk to the Cowboys nation in Dallas and make them be true believers in this team moving forward if I'm bringing back the exact same head coach and the exact same quarterback? When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Dak Prescott is a good regular season quarterback, and he is average to below average when it matters the most. You cannot get to a NFC championship game, let alone a Super Bowl, with Dak Prescott as your quarterback. Move on from him.
Really? He finally said that. I've been saying that for shit. How long?
Why you take my laugh?
My laugh. But
shout out to Eddie Manyweather, man. He sent you that message and ain't did nothing or said nothing since then. Like he just like he might not be on our show no more.
Is he not been here in 2 days?
No, I haven't seen him. I mean, maybe he's watching, he's just not sending any comments, but I haven't seen this man at all. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, so I don't know, man. I don't know when people are gonna. When is somebody gonna just say, "JB, you're the QB whisperer. You've been right about Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson."
Whoa.
What? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I mean, Derek Carr. I mean, when am I gonna like? I want to eat crow, Big Smitty. I'm hungry for bird. I want to eat crow on the show.
Okay.
I want to try crow. Like, when can I try crow?
That shit good too.
I want to eat crow. I want to say, man, I was wrong about fucking Lamar. But I can't be wrong. I'm never going to be wrong. He's never going to be the guy. It's too late.
You going to eat a big-ass fucking crow. We need a sound effect or something. We need something for that. We play something.
You is slap dick pretty much.
Why you call me slap dick?
Because my dick slapped you across your face.
That's your sound effect, motherfucker.
He said DC for life. Dallas Cowboys for life. Oh, my God.
Touchdown! I mean, whatever we want to do. Eddie's in the building. Eddie, really? Did you muster up the courage to drop your nutsack and come in here with the big boys and say, JB, you were right again?
Ed and Eddie. Ed and Eddie, man. Shout out to Eddie Manyweather, man. I had a feeling he was watching the show behind the scenes, just didn't want to send no comments because he didn't want us to go at him, though. But I respect the man for standing on his own and, you know what I'm saying, and and doing it that way. Look who calling me.
Can I come out? I'm going to eat crow on one thing, but I really don't eat crow on this because I think it's comical because I'm not a bettor at all. I just like talk. I give you real analytics and shit, like real breakdowns. Let me back up. Not analytics. I'll give you real breakdowns on why certain teams can do what.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to win in the betting world because I can't bet pussy players. I can't bet them. They're too soft for me. I never bet them. Like Jeff Nadu's finally realizing too. He's like, this shit's crazy, man. You can't bet it no more because you don't know like who's really in, who's really trying to play. You see the tackling, right? You saw how pussy soft this tackling was last night, right? Like, come on, man. Seriously. Did you see?
People reaching, they not bringing their leg, they don't want no contact.
Been saying this for how long? About a couple of years.
But no, anyway. I think it's the rules though. I don't think players are literally soft. I really don't believe that. I think it's the rules.
We got that on the topic. We're gonna get to it. I just so for you, if you can only have one, you can only take one. Who goes in Dallas? One or the other, Dak or McCarthy. You can't get rid of both of them. Who does Smitty get rid of today? Let's say all things are good. You can make Dak go away and get that money and save that cap. So that's the only reason the only way you can make it happen, by the way. So you have to account for that. Do you get first of all, let's just look at the history of this.
Okay.
Dak's had how many head coaches?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had a lot of coaches. Jason Garrett.
So what's changed? Has he won? I mean, is it the coach or the quarterback? I mean, he's had 5 chances.
Well, you answering the question right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He's had 5 chances. By the way,
in reality, I think he's only had 2 coaches too. I think Jason Garrett was there for a long time, and then
flip side though, flip the coin. The guy that you want to fire, coached MVP Aaron Rodgers, won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, and basically gave Dak Prescott his best NFL season this year when Kellen Moore left.
McCarthy got one of these on his finger at the end of the day. At the end of the day, McCarthy got one of these.
I mean, I'm just saying, is it McCarthy or is it Dak? Maybe you get rid of the wrong people. Maybe we pay the wrong people. Maybe we start to look at these overpaid ass hype quarterbacks that I've been talking about for 4 years. But what do I know? All right. Buffalo wins in decisive fashion, Big Smitty. Making my point. I went 0-6 in my predictions, and I don't give a fuck. I went 0-6, homie. Guess what? I lost a few hundred, but you know what? Scared money don't make money.
We love losing money on this show, baby. We down 2,200.
I'm gonna hit one day. I'm gonna be like, where JB at? Like, the motherfucker, I don't know. The motherfucker hit, though. He hit that one time.
But at that point, you would have already lost $200,000 in your route to getting to that point. So you really just making up the money.
I hit $100 million, though.
And I'm single.
Hey, that's why I be like this. Hey, so Josh Allen. Listen, I don't know if it's respect for the I don't know what to say, how to start.
Take your time.
I don't respect bitch play. I don't respect bitch made acts. Sam Howell, I think, was the quarterback that did the fake slide a couple years ago in a bowl game in college. Then last night, Josh Allen did a fake slide. I'm disappointed in a JUCO companion to fake a slide. So Patrick Mahomes is the biggest whiny baby in the league. We agree? Do we agree that he's the biggest crybaby for not getting a flag or a hit on him or whatever? Patrick Mahomes is number 1, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I think Josh Allen's number 2. They have a lot kind of the same mannerisms. I'm just going to be real with you. They both complain. They both are on the ground after a slide like, dude, where's the flag? For you to fake slide, get hit, get a penalty was thrown on the hit, by the way, when he did slide.
Right. Yeah.
So he slid, he got hit, and then he demanded to see what I'm saying? You can't. How are we coaching this? I mean, dog, there's so much to dive into. I'm going to leave it for Tank and Steve and Matt. But I got to ask you, how are you going to slide, get hit, and then do a fake slide and score, and then the defense is supposed to be able to figure this out? I don't understand.
It's a cheat code, basically, and he's just taking advantage of it. To me, it's almost like
when is one of them going to take a shot at him? Like Patrick Queen said on the show, he's like, some of us still are out here banging, some of us aren't because of the scared tactic of the league giving us fines and so forth. But when is somebody just going to say Kareem Jackson?
I'm about to say Kareem Jackson, but you see how he's been blackballed and missed the rest of the year. So it's like people don't want to do that. You lose. This is their livelihood. Like we watch be entertained. When I talk to NFL guys, I talk to my homie Sheldon. Hey, where you at, bro? I'm at work. That's how they label it. We look at it as entertainment. So my point is, these guys can't just get fired or suspended and lose. Like, imagine if Fox said, "Hey, Darnell, you're done for the rest of the football season. No checks." Oh, it's gonna be some serious business. So my point is, players ain't about to take no risky hits because they can't afford that. As much as they would want to, they can't. And then now we have like a lot of the older generation calling my generation soft, when again, it's not us, it's the rules. We just can't do it. It's not like we just want to not like we want to hit.
My argument to you, and my I agree with that part of the rules, but I don't think we just put the rules in place for no reason. Because if those rules,
my fault. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, if those rules were put in place in my era, there's no way that we're not fighting it and sitting out or protesting or something. And it ain't going to go down. I think the rules are in place because your generation has allowed it to be in place and are happy with it and being in place. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take $200 million and not have to get banged?
Well, from the offensive side, for sure. I think the offensive players, they love the rules. But I know the defensive players don't. But it's like, what do you do? At the end of the day, we know this is big business. And we have a lot of mothers, and this is we kind of getting deep into it, but a lot of these mothers, and this starts at the little league level, they don't understand the sport. They're trying to ban tackling football here in LA, here in Cali, excuse me. And this has been going on for years, though. The mothers, they don't understand the game of football and all the full benefits that provides. They just don't want their kids being hurt. So what that does is it just starts a whole thing that trickles really up to college, to NFL, and then you start seeing concussions. You start hearing about CTE. A whole movie came out about CTE. You got players that have died, and they're tailoring that because of two concussions. Now a lot of pressure is getting pushed on the league and Roger Goodell and his brands and his sponsors and money. So now it's like, okay, what can we do to make sure we don't lose viewership, we don't lose money? What can we do from a semantic standpoint that makes it look like we actually care about the players' well-being? Well, all right, let's add the helmet condoms. Let's remove this. Let's remove that. Let's remove this. And it sounds good from a public standpoint. It's like, okay, they're trying to help make the game safer. But you can't make a violent game safe. You can't make boxing safe. You can't make UFC safe. And you can't make football safe. You're actually making it more dangerous because players don't know what to do. And now when you're going full speed and you got to just stop and you're guessing, that's how you tear your knee up, your ankle up. That's how you get ran over. We were taught our entire lives on the football field, do everything 100 miles per hour. If you make a mistake, do it 100 miles per hour. That's how you prevent injury. As counterintuitive as that may sound, it makes sense. It's almost like you're driving on a highway. Like I was always taught, go with the flow of traffic. If you're going fucking 35, everybody's going 70, you're liable to get in an accident because it just don't make, you're not in the flow. That's what's going on right now in the football field. And I just think it's deeper than just the NFL. It's going from little league to middle school to high school, college, and now it's the whole football world is being affected by this, man. And from a defensive playing,
Patrick Mahomes takes full advantage of knowing that he ain't going to get hit. And if you notice, if you watch him when he does
his runs,
when he's doing this stupid shit, when he runs, he'll take 5 extra tippy toes down the sideline because he knows the dude ain't hitting him. And it's so chicken shit to me. Allen's doing a lot of the same shit. They both are kind of doing the same shit. They've been doing the same shit kind of for 2-3 years. We give Josh a pass more or less because he's the more physical, imposing runner. And people think, oh, this guy, you know. But at the same time, he's doing chicken shit like I saw last night. I don't respect that shit, man. Be a freak. If you're going to run through people all the time. And I'm just like, I don't get where we are. I'm a quarterback. I played it. I coach everything. I'm not ever going to go on one side or the other. Like, it is straight up impossible to play defense. It is. And it's really chicken shit. It's ruining the game. Like, I don't want to see this shit. Like, it's how you can't hit the quarterback high, you can't hit him low. Then you got to rest him you got to fucking hold him like I hold Smitty. You got to do all these different things. Like, it's impossible to play football now. So that's why the competitiveness has been taken out that I spoke about with Whitlock yesterday on his show. There's no major competitive edge no more. Smitty and I argue on text during the Micah Parsons exit in the game because he was hurt, and then he ran back out because he was okay. Cats didn't leave the game because they had a little hiccup on their little face mask hit my arm. I wasn't missing one play. He clearly wasn't injured because he ran back out 2 plays later. That is what I mean by playing through a little bit of adversity and toughness. Like, come on, man. He clearly was not injured. He was hurt. And you sure won a lot of money. You sure went on a podcast yesterday about the motherfucking talking about your own D coordinator again. Like, listen, that's a whole nother discussion, but
real quick though, before I forget, I lose train of thought. Although we both agree, we don't like the fact that you're fake sliding in your as a quarterback and you're using those rules to your advantage. But from a player standpoint, shouldn't you use the rules to your advantage, even as shitty as they are? Why not use the rules to your advantage if you know it's going to help you win? At the end of the day, we got to win.
I don't think you could play like that though, and have the problem. To your point is that's what the league's become, a horrible product. The most entertaining product ever has become what we're seeing now, where it's more and more people like JB talking nowadays, though, Smitty. Have we noticed? If we've noticed, I was by myself. I was on the fucking sun by myself looking down like everybody thought I was crazy. I'm on the sun. Motherfuckers are like, how is he up there? He's the only one willing to go up there. And now Whitlock jumped on. Fucking Steve Kim jumping on. Steve Kim like, damn, JB should get an award for predicting this shit 3 years ago. I'm trying to figure out why more people are starting to see the league becoming what I've said 3 years ago. I told them 3 years ago on this show when I started, this is going to be an unwatchable sport within 10 years. Well, we're 3 years into when I said that, and we're 7 years away. Sure looks like it's trending that way. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe that they don't. I'm going to ask Tank, but I wouldn't be shocked if this doesn't go. Like, I can't believe it will become flag football, but I wouldn't be shocked if they do something specific with the quarterback or something specific with something in the game to where it's just unwatchable, dog. I don't get it. I don't understand how they're making money. I really don't. I don't understand.
I think they'll switch to thud on the quarterback. I think that might happen.
I don't get it, dog. I really don't. Like, I don't get why though, Smitty. I mean, we got so much to talk about. We got so many guests on today. I don't know how we're gonna get through it. But I just don't get how we're in a multi-billion-dollar industry and we're still without a lot of superstars. If you haven't noticed, the quarterback position is missing a lot of stars because of what? Injuries, and yet you still want to make it softer. Guess what? You've made it softer. We have the most injuries of all time in a softer league with more rules, and you still are without your franchise guys like Deshaun Watson and all these Aaron Rodgers and all these quarterbacks sitting out, and you're still making it softer. I don't get it. All right. Let's move on. The Bucs smoked the Eagles. Is Sirianni done? Matt, thanks a lot, Bailey, for just throwing him in so I know who the fuck's in the show. Hey, Matt, what's up? Thanks for coming on.
What's up, McChesney?
How's everybody doing this morning? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Good.
Nick Sirianni, fire him or no?
He's got to go, bro. There's something wrong. There's definitely a problem in Philly. And I mean, it's crazy how many coaches are on turnover right now, but bro, there's a disconnect. There's something going on in Philadelphia that is bigger than just coaching. Like there's some definite problems. People are pissed off. Players are angry. The scheme doesn't seem to be working. Jalen Hurts looks disconnected. Point in case, the defense doesn't look like it's playing very hard. Jason Kelsey, retired this morning, and first ballot Hall of Fame right there. Best of luck to 62 in his future endeavors. That's a bad man. So they're gonna have some changeover and some turnover in Philadelphia. I don't know how you keep him. I don't know how you do, especially with Belichick out there. Like if you want to keep Bill out of Dallas, fire Sirianni today and go hire Belichick and roll, because I think Belichick
there. I'm done.
Yep, that's what I was saying last night too when I was watching. I was like,
and Matt, you and I know this. That's the first guy you do go to. If I was a quarterback, I'm going to my guy. If I'm the O-line, I'm going to my O-line coach, who's a well-respected one at that in Philly. But obviously, Jason respects the hell out of. Obviously, he is a great O-line coach. Been doing it for 36 years, I believe, in the league.
Damn.
I think Jason was going to him and said, "I'm done," because you saw the O-line coach looking like,
"You're done? No, I'll be done." They got to break in a rookie center? No.
Well, no. I think he looked at him too, also like, "I feel you, dog," because this thing is fucked up in this locker room. Let me just tell you.
Hey, he might say, "Hey, I might be going with you."
I'm going with you.
He is. I bet he is. I said 3 months ago that A.J. Brown is a huge issue on this roster. I told everybody on this, on the show. I've been telling a lot of people. Everybody was like, nah. And then I've also said Jalen Hurts would regress, which he has. And then I was saying the same thing about there's more to it than just A.J. Brown. I think Jalen has something to do with it, because I don't see Goddard getting into it with Jalen. Listen, it's not a white or black thing, Matt, but when do tight ends really go bark back at the star quarterback? I don't really see that too often. And I'm thinking when I saw that, I'm like, why the fuck is that happening? Something's going on here that Sirianni clearly has not nipped in the bud. And it's much more than just an A.J. Brown deleting his social media tags from the Phillies and not being at the game, which I think is chicken shit. All these different things. But it's obviously starts at the top. And if that's 1 year removed from a Super Bowl, one play away from winning a Super Bowl, and now it is just that quick in the NFL, Matt, it can go away. And now you're looking to rebuild a team that is really decimated up front on D-line, which I said before the year. I said losing Hargrave to the Niners is going to shock a lot of people. You guys are loving Jalen Carter and all this shit. But I said I've never seen an old Fletcher Cox take on two young rookies and teach them, hey, guess what? When we take on the double right here, you got to make sure you keep our backers free. Guess what? Those young cats don't understand that shit. And it clearly showed throughout the season because they did not have a good D-line to get to the quarterback without pressure. And their secondary was fucking atrocious. When I said losing Gardner is going to be huge to the Lions. And guess what? Their secondary was atrocious because Baker Mayfield, let's just be honest, has had a good year. But he's not fucking Joe Montana back there. He dissected the shit out of that defense last night, and that to me was crazy. So I don't know, man. I just don't know where they go. But it's hard to fire a guy 1 year removed from a Super Bowl. But if it is as bad as Matt and I think, then I don't know if you have another choice.
You got to strike while the iron's hot here too. You've got coaching candidates out there that are viable and better. Period. So you can't sit around and sit on your hands and go, okay, well, because of what Sirianni did last year, we're going to keep him around for next year. Like, what about this year? So look, Bill Belichick obviously is the crown jewel out here. He wants to keep coaching. I wonder, like, would Harbaugh be a good fit in Philadelphia? Would Harbaugh be a good fit in Dallas? The Dallas problem is Jerry Jones. Philadelphia doesn't have to deal with that. Their owner's pretty hands-off and just provides opportunity. So if I'm Belichick, I'm probably leaning towards Philadelphia more than Dallas. Like, Dallas would be a major pain in the ass. And then there's going to be a lot of turnover, man. And just think about this too. Like, what happens if the Chiefs lose to Buffalo and Andy Reid decides that he's had enough and he retires? Like,
what?
Or what happens if Kansas City beats Buffalo and then they fire McDermott and then all of a sudden that job opens? So, like, is Belichick?
What happens if this guy leaves?
Mike, you have a year left on your contract.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Tomlin leaving, but again, if he does, there's another awesome opportunity that opens. So
that motherfucker left and he said, "Fuck you! I don't want to hear nothing from you." I respect the shit out of Tomlin. Here's the thing: I've heard from people. I know Weddle has mentioned to me from the people that know some things that he is really contemplating on stepping down, at least take a year off with the fam bam or whatever. I think I could see him kind of being burnt out from this. I mean, the Pickens and the Deontay Johnson and the crazy shit he's had to deal with after AB had put a hair, probably that was probably 10 years off his life dealing with him. Like, how do you go? You know what I'm saying? I would not be shocked if he's another guy out there, either takes a year off or just wants a refresh. I don't know. But Belichick interviewed yesterday with the Falcons. There's a lot of social media jokes being put out there that he interviewed for 3 hours and 28 minutes because of obviously the game. Do you like this fit or no? I let me just tell you before you answer, I don't like it from my point of view for the fact that they don't have a quarterback. I don't know if Bill wants to start over. This is not a rebuilding Bill Belichick. He's not in Cleveland at 45 years old. This is 71-year-old Bill Belichick. I think he has to have a ready-made roster like a Chargers or I don't know if Falcons are something for him unless he wants to go warmer weather and NFC. I don't know, but do you think it's a fit? Or is everybody's a fit for him because he's the GOAT? I don't know.
Well, it depends. Does he look at the division and go, the AFC or the NFC South is garbage and I can go destroy the division the same way I did when I was with the AFC East and I destroyed that division, which was terrible. That's one thing. Maybe that's what he's looking at. He's got to have a quarterback, though. You can't go to Atlanta quarterbackless. I mean, Desmond Ridder and Hickabee.
Stidham? Or I'm not Stidham. Who they got?
Tyler
Heineke.
Yeah, they got that kid. Those two aren't going to work. So, I mean, it's if Arthur Blank wants to open up the coffers and go just fucking break Bill Belichick off like $150 million, then okay, he'll probably listen. But I don't know, man. That's like in Major League where they call Lou Brown and he's like, Tire World. And they're like, hey, Lou, would you like to come down and coach the Indians this year? And he's like, well, I don't know. I got a guy on the other line about some white walls. I'll talk to you later. Like, it's not that alluring of a job for the GOAT, man. It's kind of like Atlanta.
All right, let me ask you, Matt, I'm just sitting here thinking, listening to you, because we don't ever talk before the show, and I don't talk to Smitty, I don't talk to Matt, I don't talk to anybody. So I got to ask you, are we trying to win Super Bowls within every organization year to year? I guess that's a question, correct? Aren't we, as owners and GMs?
That's the goal.
Okay, that's the goal. So let's move our discussion to South Beach, to Miami. Is it a McDaniel issue? Is it a Tua issue? Is it a combo of both? And would Miami ever make a splash move and go get a coach that is like a Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh, or a Belichick? Because you got some issues there too. You got all this flash fancy equipment on offense. You had a horribly injured defense, obviously, that played Kansas City. So you have some pieces on defense. The roster's pretty good in Miami. I think we'd agree. I don't know if Tua is the guy to get you over the hump like Dak and Dallas. I think they're the same as far as DNA and makeup. But definitely, I don't believe in the Mike McDaniel guy. I just don't. So if we're trying to win Super Bowl every year, to my question, aren't we trying to find ways to get the best combo quarterback head coach on every team right now? And would Miami be in that conversation?
I like McDaniel. I think he's the perfect dash of weirdo. He's a good offensive mind. I like how he can relate to the players. I kind of dig, the way that he approaches things. Yeah, has he struggled at times? Yeah, he's learning as a first-time head coach as well. He's made the playoffs both years, but they haven't had home playoff games, and they lost in Buffalo, and then they went and got beat up in Kansas City. So they need a home playoff game, but they need a quarterback. I mean, I don't see Tua being the guy. I mean, he can get you there, but he can't take you any further. He's not going to win you anything. He'll game manage the shit out of a game and put you in position to beat a bad team. But like that.
He's not freaky enough, right? He's not freakish enough athletically.
I don't think he's good enough, like a full spectrum as a quarterback to take that next step. He's got all the pieces in the world. He's got dudes everywhere, a great system. And it seems to me that he shrivels when he plays good teams. Like when they play Kansas City and Frankfurt, did not play well. When they play Buffalo, notoriously he doesn't play well. When it's a nut type of game, when they went to Baltimore, they got fucking ran. He did not play well. So I look at it as, okay, if you're Miami and you've got all this draft capital and you got Tua coming up on his contract and he's going to be demanding a huge number, maybe Tua Tagovailoa and their first rounder trade bait this year, and they can get rid of him and he can go get paid by somebody else. Maybe Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like,
imagine Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins in Miami. I know Kirk isn't like some fucking amazing, but I like him better than Tua personally.
Well, he's a more veteran fit. And he's more expensive, but he is also not, because Tua is going to demand such a huge number at a 5-year clip. You can get Kirk on a 1-year deal if you want to. So,
I mean, let me dive into this Tua thing with you. Like what you're saying, I think is what I'm saying.
Great as ass.
If you play in the snow, and I just want to break down the components to Smitty's point. Okay, we're in a league where the quarterback's evolved, and you got to figure out how to play with an athletic guy, whatever, right? He doesn't fit that mold. You play in a snow game on an ice field where the field is basically cement. In Kansas City the other day, and then the coach combination with the coach who waggles him to his right from the right hash as a left-handed quarterback, which was genius. No, it wasn't. He incompleted every ball that way. He's not the freak of nature you need like Josh Allen or Lamar or something to get you out of trouble in a cold weather game in December or January. I don't know if he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have the well-rounded guy, to Smitty's point, to get you over that hump. I don't know if that's the guy. And I don't know if you can ever win a game. And you're going to end up playing in Baltimore, Kansas City. It used to be New England. Some cold weather place. Miami just don't fit the bill to me.
Smitty?
No, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, it's tough, man. One, it's been 2 years since McDaniel has been there. So I think, again, we live in this microwave society. What have you done for me lately? The standard for Miami for a long time has just been like, can we just at least get to the playoffs? He has done that for 2 years straight. Now it's like, okay, how can we get to the next step? And we're wanting the next step to happen right now. AFC Championship. It's like, well, hold on. Like, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? So let's say next year they go out there and they win a playoff game or make it to the AFC Championship and then lose. For Miami Dolphins and where they've been at for recent years, more than recent years, I would look at that as a win for their franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, Super Bowls, everybody can't go to Super Bowl. It's 2 teams at the end of the day. So, like, every single year, we have a lot of really good to great teams who lose and fall short. There's only 2 teams. So, I think the progress that Miami has had has been pretty incredible. I think the pieces that they've been able to bring in, what McDaniel has done the last couple of years, bringing Tua's confidence up. We know Tua's not amazing, but I do feel like Mike McDaniel has brought out the best version of whatever Tua's going to be. I feel like he's brought that out. So I just think that they are on the right path. I just think we got to give them a little bit more time and maybe beef up the rest of the defense, the other pieces to make Tua's job strictly just a manager. Make it to where, hey, just don't fuck it up and we'll be good to go.
Let me ask you, though. Do you want Sirianni fired or not?
Do I want Sirianni?
Yeah.
You asking me or Matt?
Smitty.
I feel like how they lost, who they lost to.
But you're contradicting yourself. I'm just trying to be clear so we don't look.
I don't care how we look.
McDaniels are the same. They've been there the same amount of time. This guy went to a Super Bowl. You want him fired, but not McDaniel?
No, but again, I think it's different scenario though. Like they went in, they lost against a Baker's Bucks team that they were clearly supposed to be better than and beat. Not only did they lose, they got their ass beat against a worse team. Like that's not what are you talking like. That's the situation there. On the flip side, Miami lost against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, what do you mean?
That's loaded, dude.
I'm just saying they was won a Super Bowl last year. He lost against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I don't. Maybe I'm tripping, and I can get how it can sound contradictory. I just don't look at both situations the exact same.
I don't look at any situation the same way.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm agree with Matt.
You can't really. Whatever's going on in Philadelphia, you can't compare to what's going on in Miami. You can't compare to what's going on in Vegas or LA. Like,
right.
Every situation is different. So, the situation with the owner in Miami is they love McDaniels and they think they're on the right path. And they've got to figure out how to win at the end of the year to get a home playoff game. Philadelphia had home field advantage last year, made the Super Bowl, was 11-1 and then or 10-1 and nosedived and damn near looked like a shell of themselves. Like, look, Miami got beat up and hurt. Philadelphia, AJ Brown got hurt, but was he really hurt or was his ego hurt? Like, I don't know, man. It's a really sticky situation on both sides. But I don't think Miami's going to move on from McDaniels. And if they do, he'll be the hottest coaching commodity out there. He'll get a job in 2 seconds. But
I feel like Philly's declined. Like the season went like this.
Yeah.
Where Miami's kind of just they're still figuring it out.
They didn't get any better or any worse. They got hurt. And that's the thing is I don't think Tua – I think they're just good enough to make the playoffs with Tua. And they've got to figure out what they're doing at quarterback and if he's really the dude because he's not a freak athlete. He's a pocket passer. He's a lefty. You got to change a lot of stuff for a lefty quarterback. He's got talent. No one's saying he doesn't. He's very efficient at times.
Yeah.
But he's also extremely inconsistent at the other time. So
all right, let's transition before we got to take a break and get out of here. We got 2 more guests on today. I got to ask you, USC's Caleb Williams enters the draft officially after saying, though, that he wants confirmation that the Bears trade Justin Fields. This guy has some brass balls on him, let me tell you.
Who are you, dog? Like, who? Caleb
Give me
Williams.
your take on this.
Matt, go in, Matt.
I'm kind of disgusted about it, but John Elway did this, Eli Manning did it. Why can't Caleb Williams do it? So, if I'm Caleb Williams, I don't want to go to Chicago either. Chicago's a shithole. They haven't had a 4,000-yard passer ever. The stadium is a big steaming pile of crap, and any Chicago Bear fan will tell you that. I know it's a Soldier Field is a sentimental place and shit, but it's not necessarily a very good football field. They need to dome their stadium in Chicago. I don't know. I think that Chicago's building something, but again, if you're Caleb Williams and you're looking at this from an educated standpoint, which I hope he is, Eberflus got extended for a year. I don't know why Chicago did that. Like, you start fresh with a new quarterback, new coach, new everything, because now if he struggles next year, you bring in Caleb Williams and then you fire the head coach who's automatically there developing Caleb Williams for a year. So unless they're not going to take Williams and they're going to go out and trade the first pick for more draft capital, which they could get. I mean, they got a king ransom in front of them if they do this correctly. They got the 10th pick and the first pick. If that first pick is very, very coveted, they could squeeze 2-3 first-round picks out of that and a player. So, if that's the road they want to take, then take it. But I'm not mad at Caleb Williams. I don't really like the kid. I think he's kind of a prima donna bitch, but at the same time, this is the hammer that he's holding, and he can swing it. So swing it, dog. Like, you don't want to play in Chicago? Swing the hammer and set the table where you want to set it, But I'll tell you this: the other two guys that I mentioned that did it are, two-time Super Bowl winners and Hall of Famers, and one of them was named Manning and the other one's named Elway. And I understand that Elway was just a guy when he came out, but Manning wasn't. He's got a lineage. Caleb Williams is a great player, but he doesn't have the same kind of name recognition and clout that those two did coming out of high school or coming out of college. John Elway was a great two-way player and generational talent. Caleb is a good football player, don't get me wrong, but this generational talent shit that I'm hearing, I think it's far-fetched.
He better ball out. I'm glad you ended your statement with that, Max. I'm with you.
You know what? I agree with the whole, because Eli Manning did it in San Diego, wanting to go to the Giants, didn't want to go to, go to San Diego. We've seen it, but I think that this guy's had multiple things. I want ownership in a team. I'm going to sit out last year and not play my junior year. All these different things he keeps doing and saying, I think has given everybody a more sour taste. Like, hey, you're not the guy yet. And you're sure won a lot for doing a little.
And I also think it's because of social media, though. It just is out there more. Listen, I wasn't alive or when Elway was doing it, but I'm sure if you flip the papers open, there probably were some people coming at his head like, what the fuck? How's this young kid do? You know what I'm saying? So, it's easy to say it now, JB, but I'm sure.
By his dad, Jack Elway's the one doing this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was all there.
Right. So it's the same thing. But like you said, if he goes out here and balls out and he becomes everything that everyone says he will be, we won't say a word. But if he goes out here and he's a bust, ooh-wee.
Pressure on this kid, man. He better get his shit together and understand where he's going because the NFL is not fucking around.
And I don't know, Matt, if he has time to even have like a bad, like even a rookie year. I thought he has to come out like on some Joe Burrow type shit.
Go nuts because people have absolutely no patience with Caleb Williams. Like, and I'm one of them. I don't have any patience. Like, if you're going to put yourself out there that you're that guy and you're him and all this other shit, then you got to go do it. You can't, you need a developmental year? We need to take you 25th and sit you behind somebody?
CJ Stroud didn't need no developmental year, so I don't want to hear that shit.
Minnesota fucking beating the shit out of the NFL. He's ready. Right. Now, Young, on the other hand, came in and shit all over himself and looks terrible. Yeah. Looks small.
But Bryce was humble. Bryce didn't come out here and say, I need to be. He just kind of been quiet. So that's why we're kind of giving him a little bit more time because of his demeanor. This guy's coming out here
you got the show today?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. You guys coming on?
Yeah, we'll come on after the show. Okay. Send us the link.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to take a break real quick. Steve Kim's next. We got Tank Johnson last. We got a loaded show today. Follow 0 to 60 after this. Peace. Hey, take a break real quick. We got Steve Kim already in. And we'll take a you want to go, Smitty?
I'm going to take number 2.
Steve, did you hear this guy? Steve, give us 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, give us 3 minutes. We'll be right back. What about Chris Watson? Is he a go for the Chiefs?
I think so. That team is sneaky. They legit sneaky. Like, they got weapons between Wicks and Reed. And Dobbs, and they have Watson. They have both tight ends. They have Aaron Jones, who, when he's healthy, we saw it looks fantastic. Like this.
Hold on, Doc. You're not time out. You're not telling me. You're not telling me what I think you're telling me, though. Are you? You're not telling me that the Packers got the Cowboys, right? I know you're not telling me that you think the Packers are about to go beat Dallas in Dallas. And there's no way you're telling me that, Doc.
Let's see. If there's any upsets this weekend, here's the way I think it plays out. I think it goes Cleveland, Kansas City, Buffalo, although that game's going to be close.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Me too.
This Detroit, LA goes back and forth. This is going to come down to who had the ball last.
Toss up.
And then I'll go with Stafford and company. And then I think Green Bay pulls up a massive upset.
Against Dallas? The internet will be shut down. Our views on this show might be 10,000. It's going to be crazy. No, you're right. Hold on.
It's in Green Bay.
Right? Oh, because they won the...
Right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, it's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas or is it?
Hold on. No, time out. Because
It's at home. It's at Dallas.
Who won the division?
Dallas is 2 seed. Yeah, well, Philly lost. So Cowboys won the NFC East.
Right. So it is in Dallas.
Yeah. And we know Cowboys are way better at home than they are away.
It'll be interesting to see.
It's like one game, I think, at home this year.
I think it's by seeding, though, the Rams would be the upset of pick of the week because of their seeding. But I think the Rams boat raced Detroit, to be honest.
I think the Bucs was the upset of the week.
Baker's been struggling the past couple weeks. He banged up. He had a rib injury. He's got a knee injury.
But the Bucs are the higher seed.
Yeah, I mean the Bucs are the higher seed, but if you look at the Bucs were up 6 weeks ago. Were what, like 4-7 or something?
Yeah, they're the highest seed because they play in the NFC South. It's not.
They play in a garbage division.
I love talking about CP too.
You hate Chris Paul, JB. I don't get it.
I don't hate nobody in life. I don't hate anybody. Even my worst enemies, I don't ever hate. I think hate's the worst word you can use. I think it's like the worst word. I don't hate anything.
You just like Chris Paul a lot.
You can regret and drag back a hate. Like I can come back and say, "Damn, Smitty, you're right. I never hated you. You know, we don't see eye to eye, but I was wrong when I said hate you." So why I say never say hate? Like say sorry. I never say sorry. Same thing. I never say hate. I really avoid the word hate. Having said that, this is a guy that we were talking about earlier with the John Morant situation. This guy falls under that category. Like, this is a guy who has robbed and pillaged the NBA for hundreds of millions of dollars. And all right, it's the JB and Steve Kim show right now because Smitty will take forever. You know, Smitty just really doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't understand. Like, you know, you got to work hard, play hard. Steve, I don't get it. He don't get it.
Good morning.
All right, well, good morning, Steve. There's a lot going on here. The NFL playoffs have been the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. Number one, besides the Detroit Ram game, I don't know if there's been a good game worth watching. Other than that, let's start ground zero. Dallas Cowboys. Do you get rid of McCarthy and Dak? You get rid of just Dak? You get rid of just McCarthy? Where are we at with this?
Well, I don't know if that's even feasible given his contract status, but that was the disaster situation. I always thought it was a little bit unfair that a coach that could win 12 games 3 years in a row would be on the hot seat based on a playoff game. But with the nature of that loss, I think he's on the hot seat. Jerry Jones had a look to me in the luxury box. They're getting a new coach. They are. And I thought Dan Quinn was terrible. Guys, Dan Quinn, his inability or unwillingness to load the box in the second half when you know Green Bay's going to start running the ball. That defense was so bad, Green Bay couldn't even grind the clock. They kept scoring too fast.
Yeah.
I agree. I heard you on Whitlock yesterday talk about that too. I thought you were spot on. I'm trying to figure out how Quinn's defense has eroded. Is this?
They don't want to play the run, coach.
Is it another situation we saw last year, though, in Philly when the Super Bowl came and they found out that the head coach was interviewing or the DC was interviewing for the Arizona Cardinal job? Is this a Dan Quinn interviewing for the Seattle Seahawks job during – like I learned from Urban Meyer years ago. He told me in a meeting we were talking at Chaffee College in 2008. He said, man, JB, I hate people that shop jobs while they're on the job.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in the last few years more and more and more. Like, I think Dan Quinn was shopping jobs while he was on the job, and it's shitty to see because it looked like that defense was ill-prepared, just like the Eagles last year versus the Chiefs. And it's just unfair to the players that busted their ass to get to the damn game, and then that defense that night looked horrible. I hope Dan Quinn faces some heat from that performance also. But listen, McCarthy has a ring. Dak's been through maybe two, if not three coaches now. The common denominator to me seems like it's still the quarterback. I think quarterbacks win you Super Bowls, coaches lose you them. I don't know if Dak can win you one. I just don't think he can. 12-5 every year, great, good, kudos, but you're 1-4 in the playoffs. You're Tony Romo. You're a little, I don't get it. I don't think he's the guy. That's just me.
Dak was awful. Did not protect the football. Could not get in sync with CeeDee Lamb. early interception. He got bailed out on a dropped interception.
Pick six.
Yeah, that was the killer. It was 20-0. If you actually score to make it 20-7 and you get the ball coming out of the half, now you're like, okay, it's a 13-point game. I've seen a lot of games at home where the team that's better or the favored one ends up winning the game. But once it made it 27-0, even when they got bailed out on that last touchdown, I said, this game looks over. And every time Dallas needed a stop in that second half, the only way that game got close is because boy wonder LaFleur kept doing stupid things. Passed the ball one time. He took out the quarterback. And I'm thinking, bro, there's 6.5 minutes left. You got to get another 2 first downs and you grind the clock. The inability of these coaches to actually manage games where their teams play really well is astounding to me. I'm thinking LaFleur. Don't let your defense just get so loose that they get large chunks of yardage. That was actually a very deceiving 48-32. But, Coach, I disagree a little bit. I kind of enjoyed watching 2 really good young quarterbacks in Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud kind of explode onto the scene. The Detroit game was really good.
The problem is they didn't play each other.
Yeah, but look, the playoffs are the playoffs. I was watching boxing, and I don't have Peacock, and I wasn't going to get it, so I didn't watch that Freezer Bowl. That game kind of went the way it went. I didn't give the Steelers much of a shot to really be competitive against Buffalo. But to see the 2 young quarterbacks come out of nowhere, Jordan Love, it's amazing about the Green Bay Packers. They've hit on 3 straight quarterbacks. That guy's going to be their quarterback for the next 12 to 15 years. He's got it.
Yeah, he looks like Aaron Rodgers. A lot of throwing platforms, delivery, feet work. He learned through osmosis, like I've said. Watch how Jordan Love actually has a great season. I think I've said it last year because he got to see it, sit behind it, and learn. And to Smitty's point, it goes the other way. You get some guys that start off young that do well also, but I don't know if it's far few between, in my opinion. I think the right roster with the young guy having success is key, but I don't see a lot of guys on bad rosters do well, but they do well when they sit behind somebody and learn. There's a lot of guys out there right now that I would say maybe the backups could start in this league, like the Brownings of the world and these other guys, and save salary cap space like we've been saying for a long time. But who knows? Let's transition to the East, to the same division, the Eagles. Was this the biggest disappointment after starting 10-1 in recent history?
Well, I've never seen a coach be on the hot seat after taking a team to the Super Bowl the previous year. And then 2 months ago, we still thought the NFC went through Philadelphia. And then San Francisco came out there and mollywopped them. That team has not been the same. I think there's several things happened. They lost both coordinators. Jalen Hurts got hurt, it seemed like. Also, I've said this before, the schematic advantage you have in the highest levels of football, you get that for about a year to a year and a half. Teams seem to have figured out Philadelphia. Also, and Coach, you said this way back when, there's an A.J. Brown problem inside that locker room.
Seems like Jalen Hurts, too. There's a Jalen Hurts problem maybe, too.
Right. And Sirianni, his act and his antics are good or they're okay when you win. When you don't win, you look at it differently. And there have been a few people that I've read that said, he's not your traditional head coach. And so he was helped out by the fact they had a dominant year last year. And I still say, if they don't have that fumble that's scooped up by the Kansas City Chiefs, they win that Super Bowl by 10 points. That one play, I thought, flipped the whole game back to Kansas City. But it goes to show you that these windows are incredibly tight. There used to be a time, Sirianni's now actually, I don't want to say on the hot seat, but he's now being scrutinized. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, man.
Here's my thing. I agree with you because I relate this to the Brian Billick era in Baltimore because he won a Super Bowl. And back then, like you took the words out of my mouth. We used to talk about it all the time. Well, you get 5 years if you win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He won one and kind of got let go about 3 years on that year 3 part of that whole thing because they struggled for a minute. Shout out to Brian Billick, home of
didn't he actually have the job for another 7-8 years? Because I think Harbaugh's first year was 08 or 09. So Harbaugh and the Ravens won it in 2000, I believe. So he got a good run. He got a long run.
He had a good run. I think he got fired, but they won the Super Bowl in what year?
2000.
2000.
The year after the Rams, right?
Right, the Ray Lewis year, and then they kind of scuffled.
Patriots 101, and then
they had a couple good years with Steve McNair. But it was really in 08 or 09 is when Harbaugh took over with Joe Flacco.
He was there until 07, it looks like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, 7 years. I thought it was way sooner. But now, though, it seems to be accelerated. Like, we're trying to get rid of this guy after a Super Bowl appearance and one play away from winning the Super Bowl last year. Like, we're trying to get this guy out of there. Like, I'm trying to figure out, is it that bad in the locker room where you're seeing all these things we just saw video of, and it's like, damn, is it that bad? Which I stated months ago from an inside source that A.J. Brown obviously deleted all their social media, didn't go to the game. I believe he could have played. I don't believe he was that injured. I think he just was like, this is a toxic environment. And I wouldn't be shocked if Kelsey said, screw this, I'm out. And you saw him talking to the O-line coach before the game ended last night saying, this is it. I could read his lips. I knew he was out of there. But there's a lot of issues here. And I don't know if this is one of those clean the slate issues because it's just so bad. And that's a Lowry or Lurie thing. He's got to figure that out, and he knows more than we do. But Buffalo, in decisive fashion over Pittsburgh. Again, I got screwed on my betting because I figured it was going to be a snow game. Pittsburgh was going to run the ball. I turned the game on. It's fucking clear as shit. There's no snow on the ground. I'm just tired of these games being delayed. What happened to good old fog bowls, throw gates, playing in the snow and the icy conditions? What happened, Steve, to men?
Well, I think this was a government issue, isn't it? Didn't the government,
the mayor or whatever? So whatever.
Yeah, they didn't want the people out there and the first responders. So there you go.
Again, what happened to men? All right, so Steve.
Hold on, JB just mad because he lost money. Let's get the brass tacks. If you would have won it, that
Steelers aren't good, guys. They're not. They're a mediocre team.
That's on you, JB.
I would have never bet the Steelers.
We already know I went 0-6 in my bets. Mike Tomlin walked off the podium. Steve, he walked off. I thought it was a classic. Mike Tomlin.
Anyone?
Mike, you have a year left on your contract.
That's going to be such a meme.
Yeah.
Is he staying? I've heard Weddle and I have talked. We've heard some other things that people know. He's very, very close to saying, I need some time off on this. I mean, I dealt with AB for 10 years. I've had to deal with these prima donna receivers and Pickens and Deontay Johnson doing the shit they did this year. I've come out and now get to hear Najee Harris come out and say, we have a locker room issue under Mike Tomlin. That's shocking to me. Whether he's advocating for his coach, Nick Saban, to come out of retirement and coach again or not. But at the same time, there's no way. Does Tomlin say, I'm done? Or does he just take a year off? Or are we going to have Tomlin, Belichick, Carroll? What happens if Buffalo loses next round? Do they fire McDermott? What happens if Andy Reid retires and says enough is enough of this? There's going to be 4 or 5 coaches we've never seen on the market. And Belichick interviews for Atlanta yesterday. I don't like the fit. No quarterback. I think Belichick needs a quarterback. Where are you at with all this being said, as far as from Pittsburgh to Philly to Atlanta? Where does Belichick end? What happens there? What happens in Atlanta, Carolina, and the other 6 openings? And Pete Carroll, is he done, or is he going to get in on the mix on some of these jobs that actually are not a rebuild? Because there's no way a 71-year-old can rebuild at this point, right? They need to have some sort of ready roster. And I only think the one that's ready is the one that Jim Harbaugh is going to get in L.A. with the Chargers.
Harbaugh to the Chargers seems like a good fit. He's a quarterback whisperer. He's done quick turnarounds. I think the Chargers have a relatively talented roster. I'll say this again about Belichick. If it came down to just coaching and not personnel, I would still hire him. But if you look at that New England offense, that's Belichick's. As good as the defense was, that offense was probably worse.
But if you're the not to cut you off, if you're the Cowboys and Jerry Jones right now today, are you not signing a check with a lot of zeros at the end and telling Jim Harbaugh to put your number in front of those zeros?
I guess, but that Dallas job is very tough for one reason. Not only just the scrutiny, but this is an owner who every week does a press conference like he's a coach. I'd hate that shit as a coach.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson just got – it wasn't even that bad. When Jimmy was doing it, when Jimmy was the coach at Dallas, Jerry was out there, but he was not doing this, where the reporters would wait around for the players, coaches, and owner. I mean, they're just – Jerry wants to so bad be a football guy, and he is. He's a great owner, but he wants to be known as a guy that really knows football. And you know how tightened and buttoned up Belichick is. Does he really want an owner after every game giving his thoughts on the game? Really? Like, well, let's say Belichick makes a decision and Jerry Jones says, well, you know, I didn't really like us going for that fourth down there, but I'm not the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just the owner. He does that one. And if I'm Belichick, I do a good Jerry. And if I was Belichick, I'd be like,
better than your Mexican pronunciation.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. But and if I'm Belichick, I'm like, Jerry, I'm on to Cincinnati. You want to talk about football? Don't talk about football. Talk about popcorn sales.
Steve, and listen, and if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm.
Yeah. I mean, the funniest. There are so many stories. The Prince Bandar story in Dallas is funny. So this is in 1992, last game of the year. Dallas is hammering the Bears. They played a great game for 57 minutes. And they had a backup running back by the name of Curvin Richards out of Pitt. He was famous for not showering.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what he was infamous for.
That's a bad thing to be famous about.
So the guy fumbled twice in the last 5 minutes, one of them taken back for a touchdown. Right before the playoffs, Jimmy cuts him right on the spot. So Jimmy starts giving his speech about we got to lock down, we got to be focused. Then all of a sudden, Jerry comes in with this big entourage with Prince Bandar, this oil sheik from the Middle East, just interrupts his speech, and Jimmy just looks and goes, he just stopped the speech. He walked out, and they say he was heated. Like that was one of the first signs that this ain't going to last long. People look back at it. That's the stuff you have to deal with because Jerry loves the headlines. He one time told Jimmy, he said, Jimmy, here's the thing. Because Jimmy says to Jerry, now, Jerry, you own the team. You make all the money. I'm just the football coach. Can't you just be happy with the money? And he goes, Jimmy, you got to understand. He goes, I sell an oil rig, make $10 million. You cut a backup punter, you're all over the newspaper, and I want some of that. And they're like, what? So it's this ego. What coach wants to have an owner that actually is going to act like he's your co-coach every single week? Man. Seriously. You'd get sick of that shit.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to step back. Richard Sherman called him out. I know some other people. You're the problem, but he got to better understand real quick. I told Whitlock yesterday, he's got to be 85. How old is he?
He's 81. And look, nothing lasts forever.
But he can't continue to keep coaches for 8 years like he did with,
Justin Garrett.
The worst one of all of them. He kept the longest. I just don't get how he can continue.
No, he wasn't. They've had Fran Gailey, Dave Camp. They've had other ones that have done much.
Fran Gailey.
Come on, coach. That's not the truth.
Fran Gailey. All right. So look, let me ask you, where's the best fit for? I think Harbaugh's gone. I think
I think he's one of the Chargers.
Yeah, I think he's a Charger.
Want to be relevant in this city, they got to get team khakis. They got to get Captain Khakis.
It's a done deal.
Months ago, I said that. McCarthy already declared. I'm pretty sure that's writing on the wall that Harbaugh's out. He wants that NFL Super Bowl. And there's some other jobs out there, man, that's going to come open, I think, still. I don't know if Buffalo's clear and free unless they go to a Super Bowl. I don't know if McDermott's really clear on this thing.
That's a tough one.
Super Bowl. So a Super Bowl or bust for McDermott?
I think at least getting to it.
Damn.
You never, Big Smitty, to Matt's point and Steve's point, we've never had coaches like this out there waiting to be hired. We've had coordinators and shit. Oh, let's get the young coordinator. You've never had 7-time Super Bowl champs out there.
Right, but again, Coach, when you hire Bill Belichick, it's not like you're guaranteed. You're not attaching him with Tom Brady. Let's be honest about this.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Atlanta's a good fit because of that. He don't have a quarterback. Who's it, Ritter?
Desmond Ritter. Right.
You're not taking that job with that guy, are you?
That's what I'm saying. It might not be there. I mean, the more we're talking, there might not be a good fit for Bill Belichick anywhere. Right. Which sounds, I mean, I know it sounds kind of disrespectful.
Because they have Herbert.
But if Harbaugh, like if we're assuming Harbaugh's going to go there, so let's take charges off the table.
I'm with you.
I don't know anywhere else where it makes sense for Bill Belichick can just go in and they can win now. Because again, it's not like Bill Belichick is older. It's not like they're about to try to build. He needs to go in and win now. What's that team?
Right. And the Cowboys, Belichick, the reason why him and Kraft work so well, Kraft understood he's the owner. He speaks once in a while, but he was never doing those weekly debriefings. He wasn't. It worked.
Man. All right, so breaking news real quick. Jim Harbaugh is requesting contractual protection from potential NCAA punishment and in negotiations with Michigan as simultaneously pursues NFL opportunities, according to Yahoo Sports. Harbaugh, 60 years old, just led Michigan to its first natty since 97, but it was a tumultuous season off the field marked by separate 3-game suspensions for the Wolverines alum. As part of a restructured deal, Harbaugh said he wants wording in the contract that would keep him from being fired, A, and suspended from the NCAA, B. Article came out about 8 minutes ago.
Well, that sounds like he wants to stay.
I think he wants that first to be said, or because I think that's the way to say, I'm not the asshole just leaving. You can't meet my standards. I'm out.
And so real quick, you think that he knows they're not going to abide by what he's asking?
He's not going to put that in no wording.
It sounds good.
Yeah. I think it sounds like, okay, I'm not dealing with this next year. There's already rumors, Steve, that he's going to be suspended to start the season, and they're going to lose scholarships already. So, why would you deal with that shit? I wouldn't. And McCarthy didn't just leave. I think he keeps McCarthy if he stays. I think he would have told him, hey, man, hold tight. I'm going to stay. So don't declare. I think
the truth of the matter is, though, if you're Michigan, if you just won your first outright national title since 1948, you could live off this for a couple of years. You're good.
Right.
Maybe this is the price to pay for playing with the big boys.
Hey, Brian Case is a Michigan diehard alum, and he even said if Harbaugh's out, I would love him forever. So they understand what he gave him. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Caleb Williams finally declared, Steve, going back to college after saying he wants confirmation that the Bears trade Justin Fields. This is crazy. I don't know about this stuff. I know Matt mentioned Elway and Manning and Eli saying they didn't want to play for certain teams, but the stack of shit wasn't as high as Caleb's. Part ownership demand, part this, part that. I think he's an easier guy, I guess, and with social media, like Smitty always likes to point out, which is true, with the cell phone era, it's easier to point out a shitbird or maybe even a presumed shitbird. We don't even know if he really is because we don't know him. So I'm trying to figure out, what do the Bears do? Because I've heard that you can trade him and get an 8th pick, and now they can have 1, I think 6, 8, and 9.
Well, with Caleb, look, there's a little bit more of a context in this not wanting to play with a certain team. There's all the other stuff. With Elway and Manning, there wasn't all that other stuff that we knew of. Look, the reality is this. Whoever drafts Caleb Williams has his rights for a year. So he doesn't have to come into camp if he doesn't want to. Or the team can trade and leverage it out for more draft choices. That is the art of valuing draft choices, okay? So, I don't know. If you're the Bears, do you take the risk of bringing in Caleb Williams, who, number one, there's some questions about his game. I'm just telling you, I don't think he's a sure thing. Number two, he may not want to be there. Number 3, is he a cold weather quarterback? I mean, so there's situations there. If I'm the Bears, I do.
DC, I think. So he played DC high school. I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah, but again, those seasons end in like mid-November.
Also, how does he perform when he's playing against like other top talent? Because I don't know. I feel like in college this year, especially this year, you play against any tough opponent. I didn't see the best version of Caleb. You know what I'm saying? Like and you can blame his teammates, you can blame the defense. At the end of the day, he's the quarterback. I want to see him elevate this team, and I didn't see that multiple times.
And also,
Steve, here's my take that I mentioned on this show a while back. I said Greg Roman saves the Bears. And to my Nostradamus JV Amos, this looks like it could be happening. I don't understand why you don't do this. Maybe I should be coaching somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I don't know why you don't do this. This to me,
no-brainer.
It saves the franchise. It gives you more picks. It keeps you a quarterback that's experienced, at least with 3 or 4 years of NFL experience. If you start over, I think they would have fired Eberflus.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get rid of Justin after that. I think they get Roman in there, and I think you'll see the progression of Justin Fields after you do that. But he's still not going to be a pocket passer, fucking 4,000-yard guy. But he'll be a freak of nature who can pass the ball better than Lamar. He's not the freak of athlete, but he's close, damn near good. He's fucking pretty close. So
he might be. He's fat right now. Justin Fields is the best.
Do you like the Roman hire if they did that?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Bears, I do one thing in the draft. I say no matter what we do, we got to get Marvin Harrison.
Ooh,
no matter what else we do, I am not trading out of a position to lose him. Everything else you can kind of fudge, but everything else has to work around getting a number 1, a true number 1 receiver for whoever the quarterback is going to be. I thought Justin Fields actually showed some improvement. Look, he does not have a lot of weapons. They still have to fortify the offensive line a little bit. But, the Bears played pretty hard the last 12 weeks for Eberflus. I didn't think it was that bad of a job. But I just make sure I would have a priority. It's Marvin Harrison, and then everything else we could work out later on.
I think they need O-line help bad. And if you're going to get a Greg Roman, I think you can try to see. I think you can get all of them. I truly think the Chicago Bears can get all of them, meaning all of them in this. They can get an O-lineman, a big-time tackle that's early in the draft, Brock Bowers, and Harrison. And I think because you need a double tight end set that's a freak in this day and age. You got to have the 2 tight ends. You saw the guy for the Rams the other day fill in for Higbee, who had 5 catches, who's a transcending young tight end. You saw the kid last night for Tampa, even though he dropped a few. 10 catches, Otten. There's guys out there that you have to have, especially when your quarterback is not Brady-esque, where he's going to dissect coverage and hit every single receiver. He needs tight ends like Lamar needs them, like Justin needs them. I believe these guys need tight ends around them as their safe haven. I think the Bears can go after a Brock Bowers and Marvin Harrison and get them both, because other teams in between 1, 6, 8, and 9 are going to need other things. I don't think they're going to go get those same guys. I think the Bears can get all these guys, and I think you keep Fields, and I think you made your team better.
If that happens, they might go 12-5 next year. They get Harrison, Bowers, they got DJ Morse still, they get a tackle, Justin Fields. You bring in Greg Roman in that division.
I like it. I love it. I like it. I don't know, Steve. What do you think about this Josh Allen fake slide thing?
I didn't know if it was really a fake slide. I remember Kenny Pickett did it in the ACC title game a couple years ago, and they put in that rule. I thought this was kind of a shuffle step. I didn't really look at it as a fake slide. Did you?
From this angle, it looks more like a shuffle, but I saw another angle from a front view where he was definitely a fake slide.
Nah, right there is a fake slide. He stopped his feet because either way, the illusion of it to me, Steve, is chicken shit. Right there, he dropped his ass like he was going to slide, and you see the defender stop. Like, we got to do something. I don't know what we do.
I know what you do. You be like Buddy Ryan. You get into the locker room and say, guys, if that guy fake slides one time, next time we're going to hit him regardless. So even when he slides, bang! And the coach says, and I will pay your fine.
There we go. I'm about to say, as long as you pay the fine,
that'll
coach.
stop that fake slide. There has to be street justice here.
Yeah, it has to be.
Or I bring in a nice flat screen with the PS5 and say, guys, we're not going to say anything about this, but if anyone fake slides on us, we're going to knock him out, and this is all yours. Thank you. That's it. And you get that reputation. They don't fake slide against these maniacs. Trust me, they'll be sliding like Pete Rose. Well, feet first.
I don't know. See, Kareem Jackson was suspended for what, 8 games? I mean,
yeah, got blackballed.
That's true, but
I don't know if they're gonna willing to do it no more. Bounty Gate, these kids aren't ride or dies no more. They're not gonna keep that shit quiet. They're gonna say, Coach said they told me to. Yeah,
it wasn't ride or die then. That's how we know. Stop. Look, I'm not gonna let you. Every time you call out in my generation, act like your generation so gangster and stand on business. I'm gonna call you out every single time, JB. So
that's not how we know. By the way, why is that coach not coaching anymore? By the way, he's one of the best D coordinators. Greg is one of the best D coordinators in football. He's coaching in the fucking USFL. By the way. So he got blackballed. He got blackballed. Just keep it real. Peyton Manning called Bruce Arians a cuck live on TV. But moving on. Before you leave here real quick, is there fights this weekend?
Nah, not really. Nothing worth talking about.
That was last week?
Last week, yeah.
Because I know Smitty wants to try to get into the ring with Big Matt. Can't wait to see that. You on Whitlock today?
No, they're dark. They're having some weather issues in Nashville.
Oh yeah, they got snowed in.
Yeah, so I'm off today.
Hey, don't get snow in anywhere like Nashville. They think it's the end of the world.
Kind of like us with rain. It is what it is. So
yeah, y'all boys can't drive out here. It's raining.
I'll see you Thursday, Steve. Appreciate you jumping on.
See you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, then, Steven.
All right, we got about 30 minutes before Tank jumps on. I got to ask you.
30. What's on your mind, JB? What's on your mind, man?
Did you hear Peyton Manning?
Yeah, I heard my GOAT. That's my quarterback right
Arians, first half, former Tampa Bay. Bruce Arians in the first half, former Tampa Bay cut.
You just slipped up, y'all.
Hey, people fucked up. Pimp fucked up.
It's not even worth that. That's my GOAT right there, man. Naptown legend right there. Piss fuck up all the time, JB. Real play. You didn't fuck up a couple times. I didn't mess up a couple times. Ain't nobody perfect. That's what it is.
All right, let's get into some
what's going on, chat? Talking to the chat all day. I see Kenny Bledsoe in here, Wooski, of course, D Jones, my homie and my biggest hater. Quentin, was that Lassiter? We had Luke Pike talking shit earlier. Can't beat my ass though. We got brother. What's going on, man? What's going on, Zach? Who was going to be Miami's QB, Steve? Well, Steve is gone. He'll answer that next week. Not your year, Eddie Manyweather, man. Watching the show. That got Zico there, man. Shout out to Zeke. What's going on, Matthew Bayer, Beer? That's my guy, MB. Gene, we back good, Gene. We wasn't rocking last week, but we back on good terms so far. Shout out to my boy F.A. Scott of Mockport, man. I know he said he wanted to call in this week to give you some shit because his Detroit Lions that he told you a couple weeks ago was going to do the damn thing. Now they're doing it. They might be in the NFC Championship. So shout out to Detroit. Shout out to Michigan. Doing it big. Jazzy Jazz in this thing. My boy Allen, PJ. Hey, the chat going crazy, but we only got 245 likes, J. Make it make sense. We got 1,000 people in the chat and 200 likes.
Did the NFL make it that the Bills played the Chiefs yesterday? Because did you watch the game? Did you see they had one penalty for 9 yards while the Steelers had the most ridiculous penalty after penalty, similar to your boy F.A.'s point? The only reason he beat the Rams because of the penalties that the Rams did not receive. Let's just keep it 100. And I think they want certain people in the playoffs, and it seems to be that we're leading towards the Eminems, the Swifties, the Mahomes, the Josh Allens. Did you see Diggs on the sideline drinking the Steelers' water?
I ain't see that.
Bailey, can you pull it up? So Diggs went on the sideline after a catch, and he went over there, and he got pushed to the sideline, and, it was cold, hard track. He had to get back to the field, okay? Yep. And, he's probably fucking with players over there. Steelers probably talking shit or whatever. And he grabbed the water bottle and started drinking their water bottle. Now, they had one penalty for 9 yards in the whole game. The Bills did.
Right.
By the way, do you know that is a flagrant 15-yard penalty?
Really? Drinking the water bottle? I've never heard that in my life.
Yes, it is. I looked it up last night. I saw a guy posting a bunch of rules, and it is the same as a celebration penalty or a taunting penalty. It's underneath taunting. It falls underneath the taunting penalty.
Let's see it.
So that is a taunting penalty.
Hey, that's funny as hell.
Was not called. The fake slide,
fake slide ain't no call. Fake slide.
No. My point is they called a penalty on him when he slid.
Oh, yeah.
And then he did the fake slide and went for 56 yards. To me, this shit sounds completely like a one-sided affair. Doesn't it, F.A.? Doesn't it sound like a one-sided affair in Detroit the other day? It's crazy how Eminem did a video before the game like, Matt, I need you to lose. I didn't win Super Bowl. And then you guys win with the worst calls I've ever seen because the Rams dominated the game for the most part. So I'm trying to figure out where are we at. You believe in conspiracies, Big Smitty? I don't. I know Matt's been on it for about 2 years, and I'm kind of starting to lean like, fuck, I got to really think about this now. DraftKings, NFL's #1 sponsor, makes you think.
JV's reaching, y'all. JV is reaching, y'all. His Rams are not. They lost it by a point. He's still hurting right now. Trust me, I've been there. The way my coach lost to end the season, a drop pass, a bad throw. I feel your pain.
I'm just saying.
Right now, we are reaching. Anytime we're gonna point at a fucking player drinking opposition's water bottle and say, that's the reason we lost right there. I know you didn't say that exactly. I'm being funny.
But I'm just saying there's only one penalty. That should have been a penalty.
True.
I mean, why was there only one penalty in a game like that? And that blatant call right there wasn't even called. Like, at least call that. Like, did you see the fumble? Did you see that fumble?
I seen it, JV. I seen it. There's always calls. There's always – refs called false start on Detroit when there was a neutral zone infraction. Refs messed up both ways.
A neutral zone infraction ain't a goddamn PI to get you in field goal range to win the game. Get out of here, FAU reaching. Hey, let's dive into let's do a little bit of I got some white people shit, some black people shit.
My favorite segment, man. White people shit.
The white people shit that I have before Tank jumps in is got to stop for not only for the white people, but you'd be the judge of this.
No longer make chicken drumsticks in oil. Now I just fry them in water. That's it, folks, in the water.
And see, that's why you can't be eating at everybody's house.
What the bro? What is wrong with y'all, JB? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't make sense. You're gonna fry chicken wings in water. You mean boil? You mean steam? What do you? You can't fry with water.
No longer make chicken drumsticks in oil. Now I just fry them in water. That's it, folks, in the water.
And see, that's why you can't be eating at everybody's house.
See, you think she's serious? Or is she just doing that for the click? Because, like, some stuff is so stupid. It's no way you believe that.
I think she's serious. But is it more white people shit? We got white people shit again. Let me show you this. You think it's more white people than this?
Let me see. What's going on?
Some dude jumped in a tractor and went after a cop car.
Oh,
Just a regular day in Home Depot.
It's daytime, man, clear skies. And he just said, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm pissed off. Couldn't pay rent. Got fired last week. I ain't got no money in my account. I'm going for it. That's why people shit, because a brother definitely ain't doing that, because we did it. We know how it's going to end.
It's your generational shit.
You think it's my generational shit?
I think we need to have something called your generation.
That's a good picture of me.
Your generation. It's crazy. I don't understand. I don't get it. I want to know.
So I guess your generation just never did dumb shit. I guess your generation just mature. You guys were tough. You guys just stood on business. You guys didn't snitch. I guess your generation is the generation who raised us is supposed to be the perfect generation, I guess. But you guys complain about us, and you are our leaders. That should tell you something. We talk about firing head coaches because their team's not being prepared, Mike McCarthy, Sirianni, because they're being bad leaders. But you guys, the perfect generation who was all gangsters and thugs and stood on business and rah, we changed oil, we fixed tires, y'all raised us, but we're the ones fucked up.
No, y'all didn't raise you.
Look in the mirror, Jason Brown.
No, social media raised you to not listen to leaders, adults, and hierarchy doesn't exist in your household. So guess what, AJ Brown? You defied everything that the coach said. But guess what? The coach is going to get fired because your bitch ass generation won't adhere to rules. AJ Brown, you fired Sirianni. Dak Prescott, your soft ass fired McCarthy. If that is indeed what happens, there ain't no way you can sit here and tell me that it's the coaching problem in our generation. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna counter that and say this: if our generation, if we not listen to your generation, that's still a sign of poor leadership. Because all the real leaders that I know in my life, real good leaders, they gonna force respect. There's certain guys that walks in the room and you sit up straight.
Can't do it.
Shit, man, you crazy.
Can't force respect, Smitty, when you record it and send it out, and then I get fired because I cussed at you. Get the fuck out of here.
It's different ways to force respect without cussing somebody out, JB. It's a presence. I'm telling you.
You gotta be shitting me with this take.
I had coaches who I didn't respect. I had coaches who I did respect, and because of how they approached it, the firmness, the seriousness, how they walk in. I had coaches who literally did not cuss, but I respect the hell. Shout out to Coach Dixon, Daryl Dixon.
That's you, dude. You're different. No. You were raised different in the house, though.
Because I had good leadership. But when you don't have good leadership, you see what happens. So it still falls on y'all, JB. Come on, take some ownership. Take some ownership, Jason Brown, Mr. Jason Brown, Coach Jason Brown, because
we know that Smitty is. You talking about reaching?
I'm really cooking. I'm really like.
No, you're not. You actually reaching like crazy. Everybody knows what's wrong with y'all.
Who won in the chat, y'all? Let us know who just won this last debate. Keep it real. Keep it real. Drop a Team Smitty and don't lie. Drop Team Smitty if I just won this last debate. Or if JB won, put Coach JB. Keep it real, though. Don't lie.
I just won this last debate.
Keep it real. Hey, D Jones, hey, you know what's real when D Jones. Because D Jones, he don't really fuck with me like that. So when D Jones say this.
D Jones is doing it because he's black, though.
Nah, he don't care. You know D Jones do not care.
I know, but this particular one, he feels for you because you're black. He has to side with you on this particular one because you get cooked so much.
What about Jacob, though? That's a white man. Like, this might be the new logo for white people shit. This is all
that guy is the main guy that's doing all the child trafficking.
What about this guy? He cool, people. This is a regular dude right here.
That dude has a van in front of your house right now.
This kid cool. This kid is cool. Dragon Ball Z, you know what I mean?
That dude right now won't listen to any leadership. He's fucking fighting everything. He's playing every video game. He's got every fucking Uber app to deliver every single type of food. He weighs 600 fucking pounds.
Hey, of course, Ron. Look, Ron's standing fucking 100 feet away on a rooftop, aiming at my fucking window right now. Soon as JB give him the word, he's ready to sniper my ass. Ron's ready right now to end me. He never agrees with me. Ron is straight, JB. JB can say the sky is red. Yep, JB, he's telling the truth. Yeah.
That's right. That's right, Quentin.
I don't want to say your last name. If I can't say your last name, I can't respect.
Lassiter. Real simple.
No, I don't know if that's how you say it. Nope. I don't know if that's how you say it.
We got Tate coming on. We got Tate coming on. We got all right, let's break this down real quick. I wanna show you something.
All my black people sticking together, man. My brother.
You got an event coming up before Tank comes on. I'm not supporting it. It's no white people involved, so I'm gonna stay out of it. But you go ahead. Let's do it on.
First of all, there's 2 white people on there.
Planet Earth. Let's go.
All right, so real quick, y'all, and so shout out to my brother, man, Sheldon Day. We are partnering together with his company, the Players Company, and we are hosting a huge influencer athlete basketball event. This is next month back in my hometown, Indianapolis, Indiana, at Butler University's legendary Hinkle Fieldhouse, which holds over 9,100 people. It's a ticketed event. We're bringing out all the stars. It's going to be the first kind of our version of an all-star weekend. It's going to be very affordable for all the inner city kids and high schoolers and family members to be able to come out, meet the stars, be entertained. It's a 3 competition event. We have a skills challenge. We have a 3-point shootout, and the grand finale will be a huge dunk contest. We have 4 of the top dunkers in the world participating. I'm telling y'all, if you in Indy, if you flying out there for All-Star Weekend, if you're in Chicago, Ohio, any of the Midwest surrounding areas, and you want to meet the stars, come meet Big Smitty, meet T.O., meet Shaq Leonard, Kitty Moore, and so many more, come to the Players Ball Hoops and Icons event. JB, if you want to fly out, let me know. I'd love to have JB there as well. And, hey, man, I'm going to be promoting this thing. We wrapping up the promotion this week, so appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to drop the ticket link in the chat for anybody in the Midwest who around or want to support. Tickets are live, man. You can get it for $10 right now, so super cheap. We ain't even $10 you in. Here it is. Appreciate you, JB.
Oh, your video. You did a video. I thought it was a pretty good video.
I appreciate it, man. I'm pretty good on social media when I got time.
I thought you did a good video. University of Arizona's hiring Brent Brennan. Known him a long time. He's a current head coach at San Jose State. Believe he just took the Arizona job. Little shock to me. I thought they were going to go after Odom at UNLV.
Lamar Odom?
Barry. Did you see Michael Jordan cooking some kid on the court yesterday?
I think that isn't that an old clip though? I feel like he was on vacation. I feel like that's an old clip, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I did see the clip. Jordan, when you get older, you don't move. Obviously, you don't move as the same, but the technique, the form, everything, he still gets to his spots. You know what I'm saying? And he just knocks them down. It was crazy to see that.
We got a video of me with Jimmy Johnson. I can't explain it. Let's just take a listen. Fucking pussy soft ass is going. Stop fucking bitching and moaning and go fucking play football. Stop being a bunch of fucking pussies. How about that shit? Hey, Mike McCarthy, why don't you go fucking choke fuck Whack Prescott for throwing pick sixes and putting our defense in a fucking horrible bind? How about you start doing that, motherfuckers? Hey, Micah Parsons, how about you stay off fucking Twitter during the game and worried about your fucking podcast tomorrow, motherfucker? How about you set the goddamn edge and stop getting wrong-armed all motherfucking night long? How about you do that shit? Smitty, how much water you got in there?
It's one of those like magical cups I got where like you drink it and it automatically refills by itself. I have a cord right here where it's connected to my water heater or whatever, and the water just fills the cup, so it never empties out. You know what I'm saying? So
hell yeah, Alan. The motherfucker already did a podcast talking shit about his own D coordinator. Motherfucker, shit killing me with this podcast shit, man. Listen, I get Smitty's side. I get it. Everybody's going podcast. McAfee got everybody doing it. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. I don't believe you can get it or do it properly, your job, if you're worried about what other people are saying for your content. His main content is people that he just played that beat his ass, with the Niners whole thing, or his own guys. He's throwing his D coordinator under the bus on his show. Of course it's going to get clicks and likes, but are you a podcaster or do you want to be Lawrence Taylor? Don't ever fucking put his name with Lawrence Taylor's name again. Don't ever do it. Anybody out there, Eddie Manyweather, shut the fuck up. Don't ever mention fucking Micah Parsons with fucking Lawrence Taylor again. You soft fuck. God. You just sent us a message, Eddie. We got the DM, Eddie. Don't go back now and start reneging, homie.
I love when you randomly just get mad at Eddie. Shut the fuck up.
All right, Big Smitty. Hey, Bailey, you got to email me that shit, that video. I'm going to put it on Twitter and fucking everything. Fuck it. All right. I got to ask you. Fuck, I don't know what I got to ask you. I was going to ask you something just now. Oh, no. Fuck.
That's that old age, man. That's that 62 kicking in. Shit.
I was going to just ask you something about.
Take your time. We got time. Relax.
Nah, it was something I was going to fucking I had a good question for you. God damn.
Some more Cowboys. Some more Micah.
This whole fucking Micah Parsons. I'll tell you right now. Shit's crazy to me. I was going to ask you something about something. Damn.
We gonna start doing a segment on the show called ASMR.
I hate that. You know, we didn't even do the daily rant. I had a rant.
Do it right now. Do a daily rant right now. I'm gonna react and respond to it. We can go from there. Send in your super chat, y'all. If y'all like my voice, send in your super chat. If it's making you relax, calm, and cool, send in the money. We need $2,200 to get out the hole. You ever seen that shit though, JB? It's like, was it ASMR or some shit? They just talk real low and people like. It like relaxes them and shit like that. People really like that.
I can't do it.
Try to do it real quick.
I can't do it.
Try to do it real quick, Jamie, please.
I can't. I do it like midstream.
Please try to do it, Jamie. Please try to do it one time, please.
I can't do it. I can't do that talk unless it's like
it's too soft.
I gotta like explain to you like during an argument. I got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. It'll happen naturally.
How would Jimmy Johnson have the biggest pep talk of the weekend?
It's crazy. Like
he's not even fucking playing.
He's still.
All right, I know what I was going to ask you.
There you go. See.
Well, what? This still ain't what I was going to ask you. Draymond Green came back.
What?
Draymond Green came back. And they got blown out.
Shout out to my brother Toyo, man. Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, ASMR, man. See, so this is FA's brother, by the way. This is FA's older brother, Toyo. They super smart, his whole family, doctors, engineers, computer scientists, business owners. They just fucking geniuses.
They Nigerian?
Nigerian, man. Scott and Mark Ford.
Nigerian. They do Ponzi schemes. They do too many Ponzi schemes. They fuck me over every time. They do too many Ponzi schemes. I got to block both of them from the show. They do way too many Ponzi schemes. Nigerians started Ponzi scheming, and they got me one year to where I had to get 8 felony strike because they sent me a check that was stolen check. They sent it to me to buy a bunch of shit I was selling, and then I had to fight for my life to clear it. And I was like, dog, I sold something on eBay.
Hey, JB, I swear to God, when I was moving, I didn't say it publicly because I was embarrassed. I've never got before. I never got in my life. When we were moving to this new spot, I did not feel like breaking down my fucking bedroom. We got a whole new bedroom set. So I didn't feel like breaking that shit down. Like, come grab this shit. So I uploaded the shit on one of those moving apps. And I swear to God, this African cat, he got me for like $300. Sent me a fake fucking check and everything. I swear that it's the first time I will never get got again. I was pissed off, bro. I'm still mad about it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah. It specifically though, it's Nigerians.
So it's not just any African, it's Nigerian specific.
So FA and your boy no yo. He got
Toyo. Stop playing, man. It's Toyo. Look. He said, look. He said, JB ain't lying.
I know I ain't lying. You got me, motherfucker.
It was you.
Hey,
he said it was you that did it. Motherfucker. I know.
Yeah, it was one of y'all.
It was Toyo or FA. One of y'all got
one
me.
of y'all. Shit.
Shout out to my
One of you
brothers,
motherfuckers
man.
got me.
Shout out to my guys,
all right.
man. That's hilarious.
Nigerians is like Polys. They're like Polynesians. They all related. They all know who. Right now, as you guys should pound the like right now, Noyo and Effie could make a call right now and find out who got me 20 years ago. It was one of y'all cousins or brothers or sisters right now. I got Gary fucking T. Hey, you motherfucker got JB. I guarantee you, homie, they like Polys. They all related. F.A. and Yo-Yo, you can
He
call
said
me right
their name wrong. Stop saying their name wrong. What's his name? What's his name?
Damn well. They could call right now and be like, hey, you got this white boy fucking in Compton about 20 years ago? That motherfucker be like, oh, yeah. Tuyo, you better.
Toyo, no, you said it. There you go, Toyo. So you had it right.
You better find out, motherfuckers. All right. I got a morning rant that's already afternoon rant on the East Coast.
It's late now.
The NFL has become unwatchable, Big Smitty. It's become unwatchable. Let me break this down. The tackling is at an all-time low. Injuries at our all-time high. How is tackling at an all-time low? Injuries at an all-time high. Yet we still watch it, right?
Yep.
All right. Let me do the daily rant with our main man, Tank Johnson. We haven't seen Tank. Tank Johnson's in the building. Clap it up.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Let's go.
Hey, Tank, I haven't done a morning rant. We started.
Don't hurt yourself, Smitty. Goddamn.
We got back-to-back shits. Hey, Tank, we've had Dr. Jesse Morse right out the gate, Matt, Steve, yourself. We hadn't got to piss or nothing.
My man Tank got a full dip in his mouth right now. He got a full fucking, he dipped the whole. He got the can this morning.
Give me my sponsorship, Copenhagen.
Hell yeah. Hey, in Arizona, you could get the flavor. Out here, they stopped doing the flavors.
Yeah, man, they're doing y'all bogus, man. It's all good, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit going on. We're going to dive into it. I got to ask you, I got a morning rant I want to do, and I want to do it with you guys both. The NFL, in my opinion, has become unwatchable. The tackling at an all-time low, yet the injuries are at an all-time high, but yet we still watch the game and love it. But what has it become? The Eagle game last night was a hard one to watch with the horrible tackling. Ray Lewis went the hell off on the Peyton Manning cast, and the Bills game was just as bad. What have we created here with what was once the greatest entertainment in the world? It has now become quite the slap in the face to former guys like Tank, myself, Matt, other guys I think who have played. Eric Weddle says it all the time, who have left everything on the field, like the Kelsey, like Jason Kelsey last night, the Kelseys of the world who walked off last night crying as if he knew this was it. I guess, I know Tank knows Roger Goodell very well. He talks to him a lot. He's had him on his show. He engaged with him a lot. What is this more, not putting you out there and saying anything that you can't say, but has this become more of just a marketing ploy for dollars, or is it is this a thing that just because times have changed and this is just the new norm we have to adapt and accept? Where are we at with this?
I mean, as you can see, man, they stripping the game, specifically on the defensive side, of everything that made the game go. Defense used to be about sending a message, intimidation. Those were your ways of being able to impact the game in a different way. And they've taken that away. I think with all of the rule changes, with the hitting, I think it slowed secondary guys down. You don't want to put your team in a position where you give them an extra 15 yards. You don't want to be in a position where you get at the end of the season when your coach just absolutely doesn't have the pulse of the team. That's what the Eagles looked like last night. It looked like they given up on Sirianni and they were ushering him out the door. But in terms of the NFL product, man, we're being stripped to the carcass. It's a carcass of what it used to be, and who that appeals to, like I always say.
Yeah, man. No, I mean,
I agree. As you talk through these things you mentioned, and we're showing videos of all the things that are happening there in Philly specifically. But you mentioned to me off the record some things before, and it's like I'm seeing it now, like it's making more sense. It's like we're more corporate America than we are feeding into the fan bases who used to pay our salary. We're more corporate dependent on billionaires' dollars to fill seats and stands and shit like that. It's been trending that way for some years, we know, but now is it more prevalent or evident now? In your opinion?
Man. It's out there, man. I mean, I think like I said before, when they got hit with the $1 billion lawsuit, now they are taking away things in real time on the field, and that's just being shown every day, every game. And like, man, listen, those corporate sponsorships are gonna sustain you for a certain amount of time, but at the same time, man, we're losing the blue bloods of football, man, and it's sad to me, right? It's sad to me because I watched season tickets be handed down in Chicago for 2, 3, 4 generations or whatever, and it's just sad because those seats will now go to some corporate entity that doesn't give a shit about football or the Bears or anything like that. It's just, man, I mean, do we even got to talk about the Peacock NBC debacle? I mean, how you going to make me pay for one game and then pat yourself on the back? If that ain't the slap in the motherfucking face, you're going to say it's the largest streamed event. Well, people were panicking. They want to see their football. Yeah, here, take my $19, but that's blood money, because those same people are not going to want to come back to swipe that card again if they can figure out another way to bootleg this shit. So, Roger, while you're patting yourself on the back, I think you might be yourself in the ass, man, because that's a big deal, man.
Yeah, a lot of people are disgruntled, especially when you pay for something like a streaming app, and then on top of it, they hit us over the head with commercials. So hold on, you monetizing on our monitor? You're like, hold up, you're doing us dirty twice.
Right, you getting us from the initial membership fee, then you getting me from the commercials. Like, damn.
And I can argue, Big Tank, this is the worst playoff run wild card weekend that I've been a part of in 47 years. I've never seen the playoff wild card matchups be this disinterested, I guess is the word I would like to say. The competition level has clearly hit rock bottom, in my opinion. I don't see the grit. Just straight up, is it because the kids have already got the bag to what we've talked about on this show before? Is it because of the rules allowing for defensive players not to really be ultra aggressive and hit you because they're worried about getting fined, ejected, etc.? Is it a combination of both? Is it injuries at an all-time high, yet tackling is at an all-time low? I'm trying to figure this out because every single game seems like it's the most inconsistent refereed game I've seen. And then on top of that, you got Diggs on the sideline drinking water out of the Steelers cooler, which is a clear bylaw. I read it this morning to make sure I wasn't talking out my ass. It was a taunting violation. It should have been a 15-yarder. They didn't call it. The Steelers only had one penalty. The Bills only had one penalty called on them for 9 yards. I've never seen it. And then you don't call two blatant PIs and a hit to the head on Matthew Stafford. If that was called on Patrick Mahomes, let's keep it 100. That shit he's getting ejected probably. I'm just, the inconsistency to me. I don't even care what team. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care about what team fan you are, whatever. The inconsistency of what we're doing is my problem, and that's where I think you're losing a lot of fan base.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's like that bad. I think
right.
I think that there's been some changing of the guard here. Obviously, there's been some more parity around the league. I was hyped to see Baker Mayfield get busy. Hey, if the Eagles don't want it, I'll watch Baker take it. And
Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, we see some guys ball. Like, it was
facts, Smitty. And look, unfortunately, they're gonna make it like Jordan Love has arrived because he beat the weak ass Cowboys. But at the same time, I just on one hand, I love the parody because people were complaining Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are in 10 straight AFC championships, and that got boring. So now that we've got a little bit more kind of, parity in the league right now, that's going to come with some comments. The refs, I mean, look, they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people all the time, every ref was born somewhere. And I see a lot of swallowing the whistle when it's time for like some of those key plays. And I think it's because, hey, refs are fans too. They got to play it off a little bit. But you know what, man? Thank goodness that we getting a better sample size of talent from the NFL. That's all I can take to the bank this Tuesday morning.
What was this? The Eagles? Was this Eagles team was this decline the worst you've ever seen from a 10-1 standpoint till now on this Eagles franchise? Was the decline the worst you've seen in, let's say, last 10 years at least?
It's like my fantasy team, man. I came out the gates like a gangbuster. And then when it came to bye weeks and trading people, I went downhill. And you know what, man? Sometimes you're just sometimes you get lucky. When I played on the Bengals, we ended up having our six division games like before it even hit like November. And we were like 6-0. Right. So we had won the division and we backed into the playoffs because we were playing bad ball, attrition, obviously getting hurt and all that. And so sometimes you're a victim of the schedule. Sometimes, like, if you go back and look at their schedule, I don't know who they were beating, but I think they had a very good, favorable schedule that played into what they're good at. And then down the hill, man, they couldn't stop the slip. You lose one game, that's a slip. 2 games, you're falling. 3 games, you're in and it's just like they could not get their footing. And you know what? In a historic level, is it the biggest? Is it the longest? Is it the greatest? It was bad to see because I thought Jalen Hurts had took the next step. And AJ Brown, I just heard little riffs with all year and just they just never settled anything. And that I think that goes to show the leadership in the locker room. Again, with Sirianni, he had to put that fire out early. And I think that I think that what these coaches do nowadays is like they try to be cool and they try to be, let the players handle it. But nah, man, coaches, in the day, the guys they respect, Tony Dungy, Lovie Smith, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, these guys will go in there and they'll either they'll tell the team directly or they'll grab their captain and say, hey, man, put this fucking fire out.
To your point, 3 months ago, I on the show, everybody thought I was crazy when I called out the AJ Brown thing because I had some insight on the whole thing coming from Tennessee. There's a reason Tennessee gave him up for basically nothing. And it started, but from the coaching standpoint, to my point, 10-1 is only masking all the toxic shit that's happening in the locker room. And the problem is you can go 10-1 versus a bunch of average teams, even though I hate to say that word average in the NFL. They all get paid on the 1st and 15th. They put their pants on one leg at a time. They're all professionals at the highest level. They're one of one. I hate to say there's any easy games because we know there's not. But having said that, at 10-1, you're like, all right, masking all the shit that's happening. And then you get a good, tough opponent and you lose and you get hit in the mouth. And then that locker room becomes even more toxic. And then Sirianni's only saying, all right, well, we're 10-2. It ain't no big deal. Calm down, everybody. Then you go 10-3. And fucking AJ Brown starts to get worse. And then Jalen Hurts and him are beefing more. And then Goddard now is cussing him out. And then Kelsey's now going to retire. And he's like, I've seen enough of this shit. That shit snowballed into what we just witnessed, which is why I think it is one of the worst declines I've seen in a long time. And it looks back at the presser that Sirianni came out with 3 years ago when he took the job. And everybody was cringeworthy, as I think the young generation calls it. They were like, who's this guy? But then you see Mike McDaniel in Miami wearing capri pants, and this is the day of the analytical guy. This is no more Bill Belichick's and Bill Parcells and Bill Cowers roaming the sideline no more, or JB or whoever, Mike Tomlin. This is the age of kids getting a huge amount of money that's generational wealth, and we don't really hold them to the fire anymore. They don't have to do as much as we used to have to do to get that bag. Like Tank and I would have to fight and scrap and claw because we were worried about getting our job snatched. A little less, $100 million to not have to play. Like, I don't know. It's different. It's changed. And I don't know if I can coach. I don't know if it's fair to say, let's just fire Sirianni, because I don't know how you coach in this generation. I don't know how you coach in the league right now.
I mean, go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I hear you, but at the end of the day, you get paid a lot of money to figure that out, to answer that question. And if you're not answering that question as the head coach, a leader of my franchise, then we got to find another man, find someone else. So times have changed. We know that. We get it. You love it, hate it, feel neutral about it. Regardless, times are changing.
So Smitty's point,
the great ones will adjust.
To your point, Smitty, I want to ask Tank, like, to answer your question for me, like, can you do what Smitty just said? Can you figure it out as the head coach? I don't know if you can. Look at Mike Tomlin may step away. Belichick just did. Pete Carroll. I mean, we're losing legend. Nick Saban just said, fuck this. I ain't dealing with this shit no more. That's clearly what he did, and we know it on the inside.
Harbaugh is figuring out. Kyle Shanahan, I think, is figuring it out. Andy Reid got it figured out. I mean, you got cats there who are showing you proven examples that they're figuring out. D'Amico seemed to have it figured out early. So there's guys that's doing it.
I just think that we're in the infancy stages of player empowerment. And I think coaches, specifically with the NFL, and I think, traditional coaches and our football culture, that's like oil and water, right? Player empowerment and football. And so I think it's turning off a lot of the blue bloods and the staples, and the new guys coming in, McDaniels and all those guys, they're trying to like tinker with the formula to see what works and what's sustainable in the long run. Right. And so I think you're going to have some situations where it's going to go off the rails, and there's going to be times where you have that quality group of leadership on your team that knows how to balance that, like, player empowerment, give a player an inch and hope he doesn't take 2 miles. And then, when I was in the league, it was always about, hey, how is this young guy, if you come in late, what's this young guy going to think of professionalism? If you're cussing at the coach, what's this young guy? It was always about optics, about kind of the next guy. And now all that shit's gone. We've got young guys setting precedents. Like me and Urlacher, we cringe every weekend when we see the big necklace and the dark glasses on the sideline. Like, listen, you only got about a few hours a week to be a company man. Like, we don't need the swag. And like, that was an absolute no-go. And like, now coaches look on the sideline and he turns around and fucking 40 of his guys have it. So is he going to piss off 40 guys, or is he going to find a way to just, hey, okay, that's a player empowerment. We're going to figure out how to work with it. And before long, it just gets off the freaking rails. And some teams, it gets off the rails. Some teams, they take it all the way to the end. But I think it all has to do with the mixture of your coaching and your leadership on your team, how you can implement real player empowerment.
When the leadership on the team, though, gets younger and younger as we are getting older, which is a fact. It's going to happen. It's happening right now. What do we do then? Because I'm trying to figure out, because remember, these guys are coming from a transfer portal era in college where they're getting paid some more than rookie contracts in the NFL. So when you come to the NFL, who is your leader? A guy that just transferred 4 times in college? Like, is that going to be like, see what I'm saying? There's an issue. I don't know how you correct it or fix it. I'm just bringing up the problems, and I hate to do that without having a solution, because I used to hate coaches that did that shit. Well, give me the fucking solution then if you're going to give me all these problems. But I think this is where we are, though. Like, the leaders are going to be Bryce Young soon, right? He's going to be the guy on your team that now, I'm not saying Bryce Young's an issue, but I'm just saying You know, I don't know if there's any more Patrick Queens out there who comes on this show frequently.
But there are, though. I'm glad you brought him up. There are Roquan Smiths, Fred Warners. There's a lot of those leaders out there.
Those are getting older. They're getting older in this league.
But like they were young. So like they're even the leaders that we look at of old that we thought were great leaders. At one point in time, Ray Lewis was a young cat out there telling people what to do. He became older. Guys get older. They grow. They mature as they grow.
That's not my point. That's not my point, Smitty. I'm sorry if I said it the wrong way. I'm talking about in this era, from leaving college to what the rules are now. Right. In college, how they can't be what you're saying. Like the Ray Lewis is a whole nother animal. There wasn't transfer portal and NIL. That guy wanted to be the best middle backer of all time. Do we have that now? My thing, if evolution is getting younger with the expectation of gimme, demand without really doing shit.
Nah, listen, I'll tell you like this, man. I had long conversations with a lot of my guys from my era this weekend. And, you know, like I told you, one thing I brought up to them, I said either they lied to us or they lied to them. And it looks like they lied to us by the way the game is changing. And they were talking specifically about going into coaching. I said, well, if you're going to go into coaching nowadays, bring only half of your heart and your soul, because it's not required. And before we were taught, bring your heart, your soul, your loyalty, your dedication. That's not required in today's game, and you'll get your heart broke. And you've got to learn how to evolve and play this game the way that they're playing it now. You know, we often say, man, if I were to coach these little dudes, I'd be to smack the shit out of one of these dudes. And that's true. That's because you're bringing your whole heart into the thing. Hey, let the game play like the game is being played. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate the game, hate the player. You feel me? They really they messing it up right now in that terms. And I'm just and that's just how it is. Half of your heart, half of your soul. That's what's required to bring as a coach, and that's not what we were taught.
That's why I think, like, for me, I couldn't do it because I can't do it. I can't. See, my whole thing was when I was hiring coaches, like, don't give half-ass effort to these kids, right? Like, get this kid to the next level. Your job is to get him where he could not get himself. And that was the same thing for me to coaches. I'm going to get a coach a job. I'm especially a young inner city brother that I could get a job for. I got 13 guys coaching D1 right now. I'm like, shit, now you're telling me I got to go in and half-ass it? Not half-ass it, but expectation-wise, it's got to be half luster because I can't really go in there and be like, hey, fuck you, coach. Like, no, okay, son, it's okay. You know, I get it, too. It's fucked up, man. I just got to stay away from it for me, but.
No, I mean, listen, obviously it's sad because, again, we grew up on a product that it made men. Listen, there was a lot of great men forged out of the old way, right? And then on the same side of that, I look at my homeboys that's 44 years old, and they damn near drooling. And we looked at those guys as gladiators and warriors, and now, shit, man, some of these guys aren't doing okay. And so on one hand, I can see taking the unnecessary hits out of the game. But again, we've thrown a whole blanket over changing everything really, really fast. And I just think that's just, it's taking the product and it's diminishing it in a great, great way.
Real quick before we move on, I feel y'all on some of the stuff y'all saying, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all, and I love y'all. Y'all both saying, y'all sound like old men right now who just miss the old ways. And I get it. We all do. Even me, as I'm about to be 30 this weekend, I still miss some things the way they were when I was younger. I think we all have a feeling of nostalgia, like, oh man, I remember the Saturday morning cartoon used to be like this. Or, oh, I remember we used to play outside and hang by the. I just think times will always change. In 30 more years, the generation that's young right now will look back and be like, oh, why we always do that. So I just think you either change with the times or you don't, and you stay stagnant. I don't think the NFL is as bad as what we're making it seem like. There are things that I don't like, but I still think it's an entertaining product. We still got millions of fans tuning in. We still watch it every single weekend. We come on here, we have passionate debates about said players and said teams and this, that, and the third. So it can't be that bad. Is it different? Yes. Is it bad? I think we're overdoing it a little bit. You know, we spend a lot of time on the show talking about how bad the product is, and but at the same time, it's kind of counterintuitive. We say this product is so bad, but 85% of what we talk about is this product. So
well,
it ain't that bad.
And no, don't take no offense to this, but to your point, it's only the people that's 30 that have only lived through one generation saying what you just said, where Tank and I've been through 2 to 3, I'm on my 3rd, that have seen Jordan, Bird, Magic, Kareem, Kobe, LeBron. You've seen LeBron, and then you sit there and say, well, LeBron's the best ever. Well, you haven't seen anything else. So you can only it's not a knock. I'm saying it's only fair because that's all the experience you have. In 20 years, you're going to be looking back and saying, fuck, Tank and JB was right. I got to teach these motherfuckers something else. Like,
I might say that, I might not.
But you can only talk about what you experience, dog.
But just because you older don't automatically mean that you're correct. Because if that's the case, okay, the oldest motherfucker in the world. So you didn't watch Bill Russell, you didn't watch Will Chamberlain. So how can you say Jordan's the best? So you can always go back and say that.
Hold on, but Smitty, is hard work tried and true? Yeah, is it tried and true?
Yeah, of course.
Right. And some things never change, right? Hard work, you get the result you want, that never changed. So now if you're taking out hard work from the game, you because you sat here and said it's tried and true. What do we switch to?
And that's an opinion, though. I think these guys in the NFL are bust their ass to get there. I know cats who I played with and played against. I know that the stuff they did. You guys maybe feel like your journey was tougher, and maybe it was. I don't know. But getting to the NFL ain't just some easy shit to do now.
So if you're talking about an Eagles team missing tackles in the end of the season, and then that directly correlates to less padded practices, less taking out 2 days. So we're showing the product. The end of the season, we're showing the product. But my point is this: I don't really care as much about like on field. I care about the fabric. I care about like the guys coming through the system and coming out as men instead of guys coming through the system and coming out like, man, I don't know how to be a man. I don't know what a stand-up man is supposed to be. So I don't really care. Like the field shit is cool, but the fabric, that's what the generations hold on to of the game and like what it produces. Man, it's just gone. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying we're changing like the outcome and you know what we're getting out of the players.
I think to both points, the issue I think is, but then all of us out here are talking about fire Sirianni. That's where the fucking problem I have is, because it's often fire the coach. When you saw what's being allowed by that coach can't really tackle anymore in practice. He can't do certain things that he probably wants to do. He can't hire certain guys he probably wants to hire. All this shit. And then we're so quick to say, fire the coach. But we got A.J. Brown who refuses to go to practice and deletes his Instagram and blah, 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 blah. And what's the coach supposed to do? Like Tank said, figure the game out now. You got to either adhere to 40 guys or let 40 guys piss on you and just live with it. Tell them that the piss tastes like fucking fruit punch. The coach is in a bad spot nowadays, but yet the player continues to get that big dollar bag. And there's something going on here.
JB, I don't think you oftentimes like bring like the bag into this. And I mean, look, as we go and the years go, the salary cap goes up and players get more money. That's how it is. It's just like, you know, I'm just saying that, like, remember when Sirianni made the quarterback get on the ground and like protect the ball?
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
on some like, you know, it was just like
Hurts did not want to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't, you know, it's hard to pull that out of your ass week 12 and say, you know, do that. And, you know, it's just the fabric's changing. and therefore the expectation of the players is changing.
But then on the coaching side, you're like, well, fuck, I gotta win. I gotta win. I gotta get. Our main guy has to protect the football, so we got to do something to change. Every week, I was trying to do something to win. Like I had to come up with some sort of. And nowadays, I don't know if you can do it without being scrutinized because of all the
Smitty, did you just pause me, Smitty?
You called it? I know you called it. I did it so smooth. I ain't think you even heard me.
I was like,
I'm pulling something out of the ass. So I just.
Hey, I'm getting used to this fucking shit. I can't do it.
JB, we got 3.5 minutes left. We got 3.5 minutes left. We gotta go to match shows.
I know. We gotta go to match shows. Let's end this thing with Tank on some hell yeah, hell no. We got 5 of them. Let's knock them out in 3 minutes. Hell yeah, hell no. Big Tank, Big Smitty. The NFL is becoming unwatchable.
Hell no. Everyone's still watching.
No.
I say hell yeah, but I'm still gonna watch it because I'm a hypocrite. Hell yeah, hell no. The Eagles are the biggest disappointment in the last decade.
No, the Cowboys are. Hell no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say hell yeah, but I mean, I would like to do some deeper diving over the last decade. But right now, in the moment, I'm gonna say hell yeah.
Because you don't even know what the fuck 10 years ago was, you young motherfucker. All right, hell yeah, hell nah. Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts.
I'd say right now, hell yeah, because he's got confidence. A player with confidence is a dangerous player. I think Hurts' confidence is hurt, no pun intended, and I just think that Baker's rolling.
I'm gonna say hell no. Listen, Jalen had a down year for sure. I feel like there's a lot going on in that Eagles locker room that we don't even know about yet. But I'm not gonna be so quick to just forget that the fact that he led this team to a Super Bowl just last year. Baker still ain't.
He had a whole team full of veterans, but that's a little different.
And Jalen balled out in that Super Bowl too, though. He was the best quarterback on that field.
Hell yeah, hell no. The Packers will shock the Niners.
I'd say hell no. I think the Packers are going to run into a buzzsaw, and I think that they had a good run, but they're going to run up on a team that's well put together.
When you've been acting up at school, and then the teacher calls your parent, and your parent comes to school, have to leave work early, and they bring that belt. That's how the Niners about to do the Packers. They're about to beat their ass. Packers had a good little story. They got a good upset win. They're on a high. I love the way Jordan Love looked, but they're about to play against a real contender, and they fresh. And Fred Warner and them boys, Greenlaw, they've been rested. They about to kick their ass.
I think the layoff hurts Purdy. I think Purdy struggled. I think Green Bay's going to be closer than anything. Hell yeah, hell nah. Nobody can predict this Super Bowl as far as the opponents go.
I mean, I say, there's only a few teams, so they're going to be able to guess it somehow. So
I wouldn't bet shit on this one, man. I'm 0-6 right now. I don't know who the hell's going to be in it. Detroit Bucks. We got all kind of crazy matchups. I don't know.
I will say this thing. I did predict the AFC team that would be in the Super Bowl. I did this fucking 2022. Then I did this a long time ago. I knew who was going to be. I said Ravens. I said Eagles. Eagles, I eat crow. I was wrong on the Eagles. But I did pick the Ravens.
Like your generation, 50% is an A.
Hey, it's better than 0-6. It's better than 0%.
Hey, I'm 0-6. I eat it. I like it too. I'm gonna keep betting too. I'm taking all the underdogs, Tank, because one of them motherfuckers gonna hit.
Somebody gonna hit.
I gotta win some money. Scared money don't make money when you're from the hood. Tank, much love. We gotta go to another show. We'll see you next Tuesday. Enjoy the week, and we'll talk this week. Much love to you, and stay up. Everybody else, pound the like button, subscribe, become a member. We'll see you tomorrow for Work Boot Wednesday. Subscribe, become a member today, and follow Tank on all social media aspects. Tank Johnson 99. We'll see you later on. Peace.
Missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We want the games we're missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB